Wait on live.
Wait on live. We're doing the national anthem now.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing.
Well, she better start
Smart
singing.
is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
You can go.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations. With 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future, T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
After a disappointing loss just a night ago, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks will look to bounce back tonight at Spillane Park here in Wareham, Massachusetts. It was a 4-1 loss for the Harbor Hawks last night that featured some good pitching. Hello again, everybody. My name is Mickey Doolittle alongside Jacob Irons and Michael Kirsting, and we welcome you back to Harbor Hawks baseball. And guys, like I mentioned earlier, pitching was a bright spot for Hyannis last night.
Yeah, it was most definitely a bright spot indeed for that entire team, and it looked strong, and that was really when you talk about Mitch Ferris, who went in and gave up 2 runs nonetheless in that beginning, but had a really strong outing. And then you go to Lanthier, really strong outing as well, so you really strung them together. And that's early in the season where pitching can be that question mark coming into a contest, and they pitched well. They just had a couple errors defensively that allowed Orleans to get back out and take that early last lead.
On the other side, hitting was a little bit of a struggle for Hyannis. They did take some good at-bats, but what did you see, Michael?
Well, thank you, Mickey. And what I saw were a lot of good at-bats. And what I saw, I can't lie, it was a little bit of lack of luck. I was talking to hitting coach Tino Martinez during batting practice, and he said that he was happy with the at-bats that the guys were taking, and he was happy with some of the contact. He also kind of lauded that they were chasing pitches a little bit, but you can expect that early in the season from guys who haven't played for the last couple of weeks. So Tino just says that he wants to see the same kind of thing. He's happy that the guys are swinging, but he doesn't really want that chase. He wants the chase rates to go down, and he was happy with the guys' efforts. So that's what I was seeing most of, and now they're up against a real tough task in pitcher Eldridge Armstrong here tonight.
And strikeouts were a bit of an issue last night. That was, like you said, the chase rate were up. It was a night where nearly every Harbor Hawk struck out, but the adjustment to wood bats, we've said it before, we said it all throughout last night, we'll say it again. The wood bats is a massive challenge to adjust to after coming from metal bats in college. We got Harbor Hawks, and we got Wareham Gatemen coming up next. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Hell, Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Hell, Mama.
Welcome back to Spillane Park. It's Hyannis and Wareham, and the lineups go like this.
Well, for the Harbor Hawks, your visiting Harbor Hawks, it'll be Brad Keith-Laurie leading off again, Trey Lipsy back in the number 2, and Alex Lane hitting number 3 today. Andrew Sundin moves up to the cleanup spot. He will be doing the catching. Ben Williamson also up to the number 5, playing left field again, made a spectacular catch last night.
Brad Keith-Laurie stands in to lead off the game, and he bounces one down the third base line, but foul past the outstretched glove of Black over at third.
Brody Donay DHs as Sundin takes over a catcher. He bats 6th, and then Eric Snow, Cam Smith, and Justin Casella round out 7, 8, and 9. A quick note that Snow and Laurie have both switched positions. They were both middle infield last night. Laurie at short, and now Snow at second.
The 0-1 is lined out to right center field, over and to his left and into the gap, and that will fall past the diving outstretched line arm of DiGiorno. Rounding second and heading into third is Laurie. He's going to get down after a close play. He is out at third. Oh, what a relay in from the Gatemen, as it was DiGiorno to Michaels to Black to throw him out at third.
And we talk about it here just for our radio listeners. This is an unclassic infield. This is all dirt. You saw him as he laid out for that little extra hop on that dirt. That gravel's not going to give as much. It's going to hurt you. It's going to be like a stop sign. You're hitting the octagon anytime you're sliding in, so you're going to have to be cognizant of that, and they're going to have to figure it out.
Action coming quick and early in the first pitch to Lipsy. Trey Lipsy is just outside in there for strike one on the outer third of the plate. 0-1 the count. The pitch is in there, strike 2. 2 straight fastballs from Aldrich Armstrong.
It was a really good relay, and you saw Drake DiGiorno out in right field lay out. He couldn't make the play, but he got back up really quickly and fired it back in to start that down the line. And catch Laurie at third.
0-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and it is just a little bit low. They wanted that one. So 1-2 the count, 1 out. Armstrong at San Diego State right now, a 5-1 record this year. Here's the pitch, and it is in there, strike 3. A called strike 3, and Lipsy goes down on strikes.
Yeah, and Lipsy in there just ultimately, like when you talk about it on the start of the game, you're going to have to figure out where Sam Finn's strike zone is that first time through. It's not just for Eldridge on the mound, but it's also the batters in the box trying to find that strike zone throughout the day.
Alex Lane stands in for Hyannis, and the first pitch to him is taken in there for strike 1.
Quick defensive alignment for the Gatemen. We have Yadi Hernandez behind the plate. Rounding out an infield, third to first goes Black, Murillo, Michaels, and Sullivan.
0-1 is grounded to third. Black over to his left, fires across the infield in plenty of time to retire the Harbor Hawks. So an eventful top of the first in a non-conventional 1-2-3 inning, but the Harbor Hawks go down in order. We head to the bottom half of the first. 0-0 here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, soon at Gannon's Tavern.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects. with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
Back with you here at Spillane Park. An eventful top of the first. We head to the bottom half, and the Wareham Gatemen come up to bat, and their lineup goes like this.
Their center fielder, David Glancy, leads off. Sebastian Murillo plays shortstop and bats second. And Dylan Goldstein, the left fielder, bats third. Cleanup is Cade Sullivan, the first baseman, and the designated hitter in the 5 spot is Will Cook. We saw Drake DiGiorno start a nice relay last inning. He bats sixth and plays right field. Dixon Black ended that relay. He plays seventh, bats third. Yadi Hernandez is doing the catching, batting eighth, and rounding it out, the second baseman, Kevin Michaels.
Yeah, certainly a potent lineup that the Gatemen have going right now. And on the mound for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks is a returner, Jacob.
Yeah, a returner in Ty Good. And if you watched Hawk Talk yesterday, I may have made a little pun, but you expect Ty Good to be good on the bump. He's the CAA Pitcher of the Year, had a 1.32 ERA, and led the CAA for the second straight season in strikeouts with 93. This is a guy that comes in, has experience like you talked about, had 3 games started, had a 2.03 ERA last year. Ty Good is going to continue his legacy from the College of Charleston here on the Cape.
Yeah, and he was very effective in those 3 starts. I got to say, you and your puns, Jacob, it's out of control. But he was very, very effective last summer for Hyannis. But ultimately, only made those 3 starts, and you got to be a little bit disappointed that you didn't see more of them. But you got more of them right here.
You got more of them, and what better way to bounce back after a heartbreaking loss yesterday, to come out here, toss one of the stronger pitchers that's already arrived here on the bump to really set the pace. And like we talked about, pitching was not an issue yesterday. It was really the focal point and really exciting to see.
Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup mix for Good on the mound, and he will face David Glancy, the center fielder leading off for the Gatemen, as he toes the rubber out of the windup. Here's the first pitch, and it's popped up. Shallow in the infield. Over and to his right is Laurie, and he will go back into center field. It looks like the wind took that one. He's going to make the play over the shoulder, but Laurie ultimately ends up making a very eventful out number 1.
Yeah, we've got a slight breeze blowing out. Looks like maybe to right center a little bit. Brad Key Laurie makes a bit of a tough play. Had to come back nicely and did.
Sebastian Murillo will stand in, the shortstop for Wareham. The first pitch to him is that one swung on at the first pitch, lifted out to right field. Casella barely has to move, a couple of steps back, makes the one-handed catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs here for Good.
What can I say, but he is solid and strong. And to give you a little more accurate, I'm a big meteorology guy. I know you took a meteorology class, Mickey, but southwest winds at 7 miles an hour, no precip in the forecast, coming in at 68 degrees here at 6 o'clock on Wareham.
So here's Goldstein in with 2 outs. The first pitch is taken in there for strike 1. Finally, Wareham not trying to jump on Good on the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That one's taken just a little bit low. The appeal down to third base. No swing. Sam Finn, the home plate umpire, as we have a good look at those check swings with the left-handed hitters tonight. We're basically directly in line with the batter's box as that one's flown out to center field. Over is Lipsy, and he will get under it and make the over-to-the-shoulder catch in the right center field gap. That was hit pretty well, but a good job by Lipsy getting under that one to retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go. The Gatemen. We head to the bottom of the second. You are listening to Harbor Hawks Baseball on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
1, 2, 3 go the Gatemen in the bottom half of the first, and 1, 2, 3 went the Harbor Hawks. And that was thanks to a very good first inning performance from Armstrong, guys.
Yeah, Armstrong looked really solid in that top, but he's solid enough to get invited to the USA National Training Camp. And talking to Aiden Blank, broadcaster here on Wareham, this is most likely going to be his last one before he makes the trip out to really start that training camp. And excited that we're able to see him because one of those up-and-coming guys from San Diego State from the Aztecs.
Similarly, on the other side, we aren't going to see too much more of Ty Good. He is on a strict cap. He's going to be starting maybe 3 times. He leaves, and he's probably going to be going to the draft himself. So we've got some talented arms here tonight.
Leading off the inning is Andrew Sundin, the catcher tonight. The first pitch to him is swung and tapped at the plate foul. Hitters certainly not shying away from swinging at the first pitch, guys.
Yeah, no. They are attacking that first pitch if it is offered to them. And it might be something in the scouting report, like we said. The beauty of Cape Cod is you have so in-depth baseball operations teams that they might be seeing something that when you go up against some strong pitchers that you want to go out and attack.
The 0-1 is fouled straight back. Count moves to 0-2. Sundin last night was in the designated hitter spot, went 0 for 3. A ground out, 2 ground outs, and a fly out on his line on the night. The 0-2 out of the windup. Kicks and deals. Here's the pitch, and it is taken outside.
Yeah, here you look at Sundin off a play, and that's something that you're going to have to pick up with is, once again, finding that strike zone.
The pitch is skipped in there about a foot in front of home plate, and the count will even up at 2-2.
Yeah, Sundin, a part of a UCF side that won 7 in a row to end the year. Also first-team AAC honors, shining with a .340 batting average, as well as second on the team, 16 home runs.
The 2-2 is and hits him right on the back, and he takes it like a champ, and he'll take first base. So the Harbor Hawks have a runner on here for the first time tonight. Well, if you don't count the hit, it's a little bit iffy in the scoring side of things, but the Harbor Hawks have a base runner. That's all that matters.
They did finally award that. They would award it a hit back over to Laurie back in the start, so it will be a hit to Laurie to start the game, and then off of the throw, they will rule it.
Here's Ben Williamson. First pitch to him is up for ball 1, excuse me. Williamson had an eventful night last night. He drove in a run, but it was an error by the shortstop, so he didn't get credit for an RBI, and then he made a crazy over-the-shoulder diving catch as he takes a strike in there, knee-high, with a fastball.
What I like about Williams' stance is that it is straight up. You're going to look at him, and that bat is going to go completely vertical, almost in the air. As you can see it, it goes right there at the vertical moment.
1-1 to him as he swings and taps that one foul directly behind home plate. It almost reminds you a little bit of Ronald Acuna's stance.
And when you have that, it's interesting, especially because you're adding a little extra weight with that wooden bat, so it's interesting to see how he'll adjust the swing with the heavier bat, because it's different than aluminum. As you said, when you're going straight up, you have to come down a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see how he fares with the weight.
1-2, called strike 3, and Williamson down on strikes. Second strikeout for Armstrong, and there's 1 out in the inning.
Armstrong painting every corner he could get tonight. He's working that outside part of the plate into the other's batter's box, especially with this right-handed heavy Hyannis lineup, that he is working it, and Finn is giving it to him.
Brody Donay stands in. First pitch to him is inside for ball 1. Donay last night, a little bit of a rough night. A 1 for 4. He had a broken back signal in the 9th, but he also struck out twice. 1-0 the count to him. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Off-speed pitch low.
those are some of the pitches that hitting coach Tino Martinez wants Donay to just leave off a little bit. Talking to him in the pregame, he was a little bit jumpy in those at-bats where he struck out last night, his first 2 at-bats of the game. And it's going to take a few games for Donay to get back into the groove.
Donay, the designated hitter tonight. Here's the pitch, and it's low and away. He caught last night, made a couple of nice plays on tricky pop-ups behind home plate.
Yeah, when you have 9 position players, that's all Hyannis has at the current moment up on Cape Cod. Everyone going to be called upon, and Donay's getting the night off on the knees, but definitely it's good to keep his bat in the lineup.
He's going to move a step or 2 up in the box. Here's the pitch as he takes high for ball 3. And that was an off-speed pitch, so you don't know if he sees something there. 3-1 the count, 1 out. Runner on first. No score, top of the second. Just underway here from Wareham. Here's the pitch. Donay pops that one foul down the first base line, and the count will run full.
That's a better swing from him at a better pitch as well. Knowing he's in a hitter's count there, he may have even known that a fastball was coming. You mentioned that he took a step up on the previous pitch. He sat back in the box on that last one. Better cut from him, and now he's worked a good at-bat. This is a productive at-bat regardless of the outcome.
Full count to Donay. Throw over to first to check on Sundin. He's back in time. What do you think? Is he in motion here?
I would have to argue no, because you have Eric Snow coming up, who had a pretty solid. He went 0 for 3, but they were ground hit balls that just couldn't find the gap here and had the take.
3-2 to Donay is low and in for ball 4, so he draws a walk, and the Harbor Hawks have runners at first and second with only 1 out. Nice at-bat from Donay.
Very nice at-bat, and he learned from his earlier mistakes swinging at that pitch way out of the zone. That was a really good take from him. Wonder if that was his call or if that was a sign, but regardless, good work from Donay, and now Harbor Hawks are in business.
Here's the second baseman, Eric Snow. Number 3 as he grounds that one to short. Double play ball. Murillo to Michaels on to first, and a good pick over at first by Sullivan. And the Gatemen are quickly out of the inning on the double play ball, turned from 6 to 4 to 3. We head to the bottom half of the second. Still no score here from Wareham. This is the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Still no score headed into the bottom of the second. Hyannis and Wareham. And for Hyannis' starter on the bump, Ty Good, it was a 5-pitch inning, guys.
How much more could you ask for your start? And I'm going to be interested to see if Wareham comes back and waits back a little bit and not go first pitch swinging. But once again, it's the first time through the lineup. So, Coach, normally if they're in that situation, you want to hold to your strategy throughout the first time through the lineup, then readjust afterwards. But I'll be interested to see here with Cade Sullivan if it's going to be a first pitch swinging.
Yeah, they were very, very aggressive. The first 2 hitters swung at the first pitch, a pop out and a fly out, pop out on the infield and a fly out to right. So very, very productive first inning from Good, and he was really mixing his pitches well. That fastball sitting normally in the high 80s, maybe to the lower 90s at times. It's a lively fastball. It looks a little faster than that.
Yeah, that fastball is what Glancy and Murillo both popped up on, and even though that's not normally what it happens, you're not going to go for the pop-outs with the fastball. It was given a ride out to right field by Murillo, but nice spots so far. We saw it last night. Command was the name of the game. It's been so far for Good tonight.
Cade Sullivan leads off the inning, and he takes a first pitch strike in there. Started him off with a fastball. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch, outside, runs a little bit outside with that arm side run. We got a righty on a righty here. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it is outside once again. Another off-speed pitch misses.
Yeah, that fastball really does jump out of his hands. It looks a little bit quicker than that 88 to 90 you were speaking of. He really, really comes all the way over the top, does Ty good to get a little bit more speed on it.
2-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's inside and mishandled by the catcher, Sundin. So 3-1 the count. We saw a couple of cross-ups from catchers last night. I don't know if that was a cross-up. It was just a little bit out of his reach. Set up on the outer third of the plate, reached back across, and it missed inside. So 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Sullivan, and it's high for ball 4. So the first successful at-bat for the Gatemen tonight.
Okay, so now this is the stickler in me in baseball. Can you call it an at-bat, or is that a plate appearance?
That is a plate appearance, but not an at-bat.
See?
A lot of advanced metrics use plate appearances rather than at-bats. They want to factor in hit by pitches and walks and everything.
Gotta love him.
Will Cook will stand in, the designated hitter. First pitch from Good is fouled straight back. He was on it. Sizable lead from first for Sullivan. Not sure if he'll be in motion. Infield at double play depth. Corner infielders pulled in a little bit. And the third baseman, Smith, is standing about 2 to 3 feet in front of the infield grass. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that's fouled back again. 0-2.
Now I'll be interested to see if you want to. You have your two options here, Mike. You want to juice him up, or you can maybe pull the string here. I'd maybe pull the string.
I'm thinking pulling the string, too. The 2 off-speed that we've seen so far has looked pretty good, and he's put it at the right spots, too. Just locate it, and pulling the string might be the way to go here.
0-2 the count to Cook. Here's the pitch, and it swung on and missed, and there's the off-speed pitch that you guys were just talking about.
Great minds think alike, yeah?
Hey. We've only been here 2 days calling games, but maybe we'll figure this thing out a little bit more.
We have.
I think we already got one. We already got one pitch sequence down. Who knows? Get us 44 more games. Let's figure this out.
Who needs a baseball operations department when you have Kirsting and Irons? DiGiorno stands in as he shows bunts and pulls back as that one sails a little bit low for ball 1. DiGiorno, the UC Santa Barbara, incoming UC Santa Barbara player, playing right field tonight. A slick fielding player, and here's the pitch as he lines that one to second. Laurie up with it, double play ball, flips to Snow to second and on to first in time. The second double play turned here in this one, but this time it is the Harbor Hawks retiring the bottom half of the second with a twin killing. We head to the third, still no score here from Wareham. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, determine to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
Armstrong has done very well for Wareham so far here today as he's back on the bump. Still scoreless heading into the third inning as Hyannis will come up for the top half. And what do they need to do to try and get to Armstrong? They only have that one solid hit, that double into the gap, but the leadoff hitter, Laurie, and he was thrown out at third.
I think just go attack him. I think that's going to be the biggest play is we've seen it. Just set up. It's going to be fastballs. We're talking to our fabulous production crew here. It's fastballs consistently. I would say go attack it. Go figure out, and if you go down swinging, understand you're going to get a second plate appearance. You're still early here in this contest.
Cam Smith leads off and jumps at the first pitch, but pops that one a mile high backwards behind home plate. Lookout parking lot, and the count moves to 0-1. Still no, the Harbor Hawks do have that single hit. Wareham has yet to have their first hit of the game, as that one's lined into center field, into left center field. Outfielders converging, and it'll find a gap. Into second is Smith, as the throw will come in, and he will hold there. Coach Eric Beatty putting on the stop sign, and it is the second hit of the game for the Harbor Hawks, as they will have a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight.
We were seeing it last night with Cam Smith, that the coaches in the box were telling him swing confidently. They were saying confidence to him. That's a really confident swing, driving it out into the left center field gap from Cam Smith. That's got to be a real confidence booster for him.
That's where you got to go. And that's what we saw. That's what we were talking about, Michael. You go attack that pitch, it's going to pay dividends right now. Because like we said, we're sitting fastball. We've went through it here a little bit. But now with a runner in scoring position, big things to come from Casella.
Casella will try and get Smith home here against Armstrong. The first pitch to him, he shows bunts, and he pulls back. That one's taken high. We talked about the small ball that the Harbor Hawks like to play. And with everybody adjusting to the wood bats early in the season, and power is going to play little factor, if the Harbor Hawks have a bunch of guys that can play small ball without that power factor as he swings and misses for strike one, it's going to make a lot more sense to lay down some bunts, steal some bases, and try and manufacture some runs.
And especially at the top of the lineup with guys like Laurie and Lipsy as well, they've got speed on them, so it's a very justified approach. And then when you've got bigger guys like Donay and Smith in there,
1-1 as it swung on and missed again.
When you've got guys like that, when they can get on, like as in Laurie and Lipsy both getting on for the power, for the big hitters, that's a recipe for success when you're just trying to put line drives out there, not necessarily going for the power.
1-2 the count. Here Casella as he takes high and away, very high, as Hernandez tried to jump out over to the left over there to prevent that one from going to the backstop. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, deep backstop here at Spillane Field, so definitely could play a factor.
Armstrong gets his sign, stets, and deals. Runner goes, and that's tapped foul. So an aggressive steal here as the Harbor Hawks tried to steal third last night, but were thrown out.
Yeah, an aggressive move here. I like the move here. Be aggressive, play smart, play strong, be confident in yourself.
And it was Casella last night thrown out at third. He did steal second moments before that. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch to Casella, and that one's popped up on the infield. Sullivan under it. Now it's Michaels calling him off at the second base position. He was in about 5 or 10 steps, and he puts it away for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, good job by Michaels. Communication here early, especially when you're just getting these guys together. They've only been practicing and playing with each other for a couple of days. To have that communication already established, and especially on those infield pop flies where everyone's converging and it can go awry quickly, good showing.
Bradkey Laurie stands in now. First at-bat, doubled into the right center field gap, but was thrown out at third. Here's the pitch, and that one's fouled back.
This is going to be an important little stretch here early in this game for the Hawks. They've got the lineup card turned back over. Laurie, the leadoff hitter, and Lipsy up next as well. So with a runner in scoring position, now and out to your name, you're going to have to be a little bit more selective, but having that runner is big, and they're going to want to get that run in early.
Smith gets his lead from second. The pitch is inside. The count will even up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
They've also set the tone with the aggression early on, trying the hit and runs with the bunts. So getting that run in is going to establish that even more so for the Hawks. Can they do it?
Throw over back behind the runner at second, but back in time is Cam Smith. And it looks like we'll have a ball come out on the field.
I think it was just an overthrow of the pitcher. They were just getting the ball back to Armstrong, and Smith was alert. He saw it happen. That is a live ball.
1-1 the count. Armstrong sets, and here's the delivery as that one's lined into left field. Over and to his right is Goldstein, but he's not going to get there. Coming around third and scoring is Cam Smith. Into first with an RBI single is Brad Keylori, and for the first time this season, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have a lead.
Yeah, and just great piece of contact hitting, understanding got to place it in that gap, beautifully drops it in the left center field gap, splitting Goldstein and Glancy just short enough, and smart base running by Smith and beautiful calling by manager Eric Beatty over at third to send him in comfortably and now get out in front.
And in stands Trey Lipsy with a ton of power. Here's the pitch, and that one's taken low. Lipsy from Ohio State, the center fielder tonight, ahead in the count 1-0. Lipsy standing at 6'2", typically plays left field for the Buckeyes, but center field tonight, throw over to first. Back in time is Laurie. This isn't his first go-around with a wood bat, as he played in the Northwoods League last summer and hit .340 with a .485 OBP. Here's the pitch, and that one's fouled back. Count evens up at 1-1. Lipsy last night had a single in the third inning and also drew a walk in the fifth. One of the more exciting players Hyannis has on their roster this year. He put on a show at Fenway Day. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on and missed. 1-2 the count.
And I really appreciate, well, some people talked about Fenway Day being so early because not your entire team, but it was a good gauge to the scouts about coming in your first couple at-bats there. But I liked having it. It was almost like a preview, start to figure out how guys were going to, what they were going to do in the box, how they were feeling, and where you could potentially see them play throughout the year.
1-2 to Lipsy. Here's the pitch, and that one's popped up into right field. Back is DiGiorno. That one's carrying, but he will camp out under it and make the play, fire it back in. And retreating back to first is Laurie, so that is the second out of the inning. And you mentioned Fenway Day, being so early, it also gave us a great perspective on the players. Selfishly, as broadcasters, you don't really know a ton of these guys coming into the season, so learning them by watching them play and watching their swings is a great way to do so.
And the swing that we saw off of Cam Smith's bat, it was exactly what he was doing at Fenway, sending out balls over the green monster. It was a confident swing that he put out to start this inning and score himself as the first run of the game.
Alex Lane stands in and takes a ball low as he will get ahead in the count here.
We talked about a guy that impressed at Fenway Day, Alex Lane. Whew. Impressed for sure.
Impressed might be an understatement. Here's the pitch. Laurie goes, and it's a dropped swing and miss, but the catcher dropped the ball, Hernandez. So it's a stolen base for Laurie as he will slide in there. And the Harbor Hawks have another runner in scoring position.
Yeah, great aggressive base running here from Laurie. Talked about it. Had over 20 stolen bases with Wabash Valley College.
Lane grounds that one to the left side and through into left field. Coming around third and heading towards home is Laurie as the Harbor Hawks have manufactured their second run of the day. They lead 2-0 off the RBI single from Alex Lane.
While you look at Alex Lane there, you get that single, but let's go back to that stolen base from Laurie. That sets up that scoring play there to allow him to score. That stolen base gets him 90 feet closer to set up that opportunity and putting him in scoring position. Beautiful, smart thinking from Laurie. Get that jump on that base. And then Alex Lane, beautiful contact hitting through the left side of the infield.
If you've seen small ball, that's how you play it right there. You get your guy on, get the speed into scoring position, and then just punch one through an open hole, and there it goes. And there's your second run of the inning. Really, really nice work from Eric Beatty and the Harbor Hawks.
Sundin gets his lead from first. Williamson stands in and takes a big cut at the first pitch and swings and misses. Excuse me, that's Andrew Sundin. Sundin was hit by a pitch on a 2-2 count back in the second inning to lead it off. 0-1 is tapped on the right side of the infield. Bobbling it is Armstrong, but he has plenty of time. He picks it up, flips that one to first, and it was off his foot, so a foul ball, excuse me. Didn't see that, but Armstrong still making a nice play on that one, able to stay composed.
Hey, like batters, you're taught to run through until you hear the call. As broadcasters, you're taught to call the play until you hear it out.
Play through the whistle like you would in basketball.
I don't know if you're playing through the whistle, but maybe play to the whistle.
Play through the whistle. That's what I always did.
Whoa. Intramural basketball official here. Play at the whistle.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
You're the people that I don't like.
Whoa. Okay.
Boy.
0-2 the count to Sundin. Here's the pitch, and he bounces that one. That one's in play. Short hop. Nice scoop by Murillo over at short as he got a weird hop. He fires across the infield in time, and a very nice glove work put on display over at short by Murillo. So the Harbor Hawks strike first. They get 2 runs here in the top of the third. Will be the bottom half. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
What are you looking forward to?
Adding a takeout window.
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5 because we're looking forward to helping you. Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were
Back with you here from Wareham as the Harbor Hawks pick up 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 1 on base in the top of the third. It was a great approach against a very, very good pitcher, guys.
Yeah, really good pitcher, and that's what you're talking about, manufacturing. Go attack. Like we said, I think Eric Beatty told Bria yesterday in that post-game conversation, and what an awesome thing from Skip Eric Beatty to allow that availability after a loss, and just says it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit to find that wooden bat, but once again, 1 game under your belt, already starting to see that improvement for a team.
Yeah, just like we were saying, third baseman Cam Smith giving a really, really nice swing, a confident swing. He gets scored by Brad Keylori, and then Brad Keylori, he manufactured that second run himself. He stole that second base and then had it punch through. And he was the one who scored. It was Alex Lane who brought him in. Really, really good manufacturing work, building the runs themselves from the Hawks and giving Good some comfort.
First pitch of the inning from Good is in there for strike 1 against Dixon Black, the third baseman. The shadows are creeping in between the pitcher's mound and home plate, so pitchers will have the advantage for the next 15 minutes or so. 0-1 is fouled back.
It's a really interesting dynamic between the curveball, the first pitch, and this pitch, sitting 73-75 on the curveball and then going straight back to 88-90 with that fastball.
0-2 the count. Here's the pitch, taken high for a ball.
Yeah, Good shook a few off there, so he wanted to throw a certain pitch, just couldn't execute it.
Still has the count advantage at 1-2. Here's the pitch. That one's taken high again. Black showing good plate discipline here. 6:35 local time here on the East Coast as the shadows continue to get stretched out and more stretched out as the shadow of the school right behind us moves in between the pitcher's mound at home plate as that one's taken low for ball 3. Still, most of the field is lit by sun as the lights preparing to come on here at Spillane Park. Here's the pitch. Taken just outside for ball 4. So 0-2 to a walk for Black as he has a nice at-bat, draws a walk, and the Gatemen have a runner on.
Yeah, they get a runner on, and no one out here, but kind of good. I wouldn't be all that worried here in the current situation. Once again, you get 1 runner on. You're already seeing 1 double play turned.
Dixon Black gets his lead from first, and that one's grounded through into left field by Yadi Hernandez. So a base hit Holding at second is Black, but moving up, and it is 2 straight hitters reaching for the Gatemen.
That might be the first time we've seen Ty Good miss his spot. He left a fastball right out over the middle. Yadi Hernandez is all over it. But yeah, you just said it, Jacob, that you can't be too worried, but now you got to bear down. On that payoff pitch as well to Black, it was a close call too. That one could have gone either way. So now Good wasn't the benefactor of that call. He's got to work now as the Gatemen are in business.
Michael stands in and he takes a curveball low. First hit of the game for Wareham from Hernandez. And now the second baseman, Michaels, will stand in.
Once again, you have to bear down, but you don't need to sound the alarms just yet. You can still feel comfortable at the current moment.
1-0, here's the pitch. Foul back.
And you can say, and you can give that as a credit to the offense. They give Good a nice little bit of a cushion. So, hey, he comes back out, maybe a bit of a rocky start, but if you only let up a run, you've still got your lead intact. So it's good work all around from Eric Beatty, and now he's got to put his trust in Ty Good, which you can say pretty nicely that he's going to get the job done.
Here's the pitch to Michaels. 1-1 the count, tapped foul off his foot. Black at second, Hernandez at first. A walk and a single to start the inning for Wareham. Bottom of the third, 2-0 Hyannis. But the Gatemen trying to get back into this one.
1-2, you going for the changeup here?
Not sure. This one, I might have been stretching my luck on the first, so we'll see. Let's let this one play out.
Good gets his sign, sets at the letters. Throws the 1-2, off-speed pitch, tapped foul down the third base line.
Just going to let Jacob Irons call the pitches from here on out.
By no means.
He was doing the Michael Jordan shrug as I look back.
Trust me, my family, if they're listening right now, is turning in their grave because they know I have no baseball pitching ability whatsoever.
1-2 the count to Michaels. Long set from Good, and he finally delivers and throws a fastball right by him for strike number 3, and the second strikeout of the game for Good.
Going to give myself a little bit of the Jacob Irons pitching knowledge talk here. It's really good work switching back from the change to the fastball, switching the pitches and switching the eye angle as well, spotting that pitch on the outside corner. Really, really good work from from Ty Good, painting the Black to get a huge first out.
Now it's a very different situation. Now you have one away with 2 on.
Yep.
In stands Glancy, who popped out on the infield back in the first to lead off the bottom of the first as he takes an off-speed pitch in there for strike 1.
And now, like we talked about, a differing of approach here from the Gatemen. Now later in the game, they're going to hold back. They're being a little more conservative in the box.
0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1.
Another off-speed pitch. You can tell that Good is trying to get the ground ball here, get this double play, and get himself out of the inning.
Wareham scored 11 runs last night. Still have put up goose eggs through the first 2 and a third innings, but are threatening here. Good sets and delivers as that one's flown down the left field line and out of play foul. As that one was hit pretty well, guys.
Yeah, it was. But going back to the 11 runs Wareham scored, there was a lot there from Falmouth that showed a little bit of that opening day jitters from Falmouth, committing a couple errors early on that started to tack on. Interesting to see how Wareham buckles down here and tries to play a little more conservative and maybe not be given as many free passes.
Pitch to Glancy. That one's ground. Another double play ball, but it's botched at short by Laurie. They're going to wave home the runner from second, Black, and the throw is overthrown past everybody. It goes to the backstop. The runners will move up, and the Wareham Gatemen have scored, and they have runners at second and third with only 1 out.
Yeah, one of those situations, just Laurie not getting the glove down right away and taking that nasty hop on him on this dirt infield. Tough to play it there. And then ultimately the overthrow not playing the factor there, as well as Wareham's able to get one back there.
So Wareham are set up to tie the game, maybe even take the lead right now with runners at second and third and only one out. The top of the order is up, and Murillo stands in. Here's the pitch from Good as that one's popped up into foul territory down the first base line. Long run for Lane as he tries to make the over-the-shoulder catch, and it is just out of reach of his outstretched glove and will fall harmlessly to the ground. So it's 0-1.
Great job by Lane. That's a lot of territory that you got to cover over there. Doing a great job keeping his eye on the ball the entire time.
That one had a lot of hang time. He just kept running and running and running and running, and finally it came down. And, man, it's crazy how that works out, that it was just out of his reach. 0-1 the count to Murillo. A fly out to right back in the first. Off-speed pitch in there. He froze him. And the count moves to 0-2. He hit it hard back in the first as he sent Casella back a couple of steps, but ultimately ended up in his glove for out number 2 of that first inning. But right now, 1 out, 0-2 the count, and Good needs a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Curveball in there, strike 3, and Good gets that strikeout he needed.
Yeah, great battle back from Ty Good, allows one to cross, but once again, staying calm, cool, and collected to go in and attack the batter.
And going back to the run, you would maybe think that Dixon Black crossing in front of the path of Brad Keylori might have been the reason that he botched it. He might have seen it a little bit late, and the bounce as well off the gravel field that we've got also may not have played in his favor. But that's a play, regardless of what happened, that Laurie has to be making. That was a tailor-made double play ball.
Goldstein stands in, and a pitch in the dirt that's blocked by Sundin. It looked like he didn't go to a traditional block. He didn't go to his knees. He tried to short hop it, which is not typically what you're told to do, but he kept it in front of him. And with that runner at third, that was a bit of a scary moment for Hyannis, as Hernandez stands off of third and Glancy at second. 1-0 the count, 2 outs, bottom third. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He missed a foul-tipped a fastball. It was dropped by Sundin, but same result, and the count moves to 0-2. It says 1-1, but I believe it's 0-2.
Yeah, Sundin's going to come out here and have a conversation with Good to maybe set up this pitch sequence here in a big spot against Goldstein.
Good in a strikeout situation in that previous at-bat. He needed to strike Murillo out and get him out in an unproductive at-bat, and that's exactly what he did. Now he can get Goldstein however he wants. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Big strike there. Now you're set up on the 1-2. Down low and away. Beautiful pitch there. Working all quadrants.
Thinking he might change the eye angle on this one, and if not, he might go back to it on the next pitch.
1-2 the count. Here's the pitch to Goldstein, and it's taken for ball 2.
Pretty good one right there. Once again. But now with the 2-2, continuing to battle here for Good.
It was dropped by Sundin, which may have affected his ability to present that pitch to the home plate umpire, Sam Finn. Count even at 2-2. Here's the pitch to Goldstein, and that one's lined into right center field. Over and to his left are the center fielders and right fielders. It's going to get down and into the gap. It's going to be a 2 RBI double for Goldstein as Lipsy went over to his left. He laid out to try and catch that one, but the Wareham Gatemen, nonetheless, on the RBI double, have taken a 3-2 lead.
Have yourself a summer. Dylan Goldstein went 3 for 5 yesterday at Falmouth. Starting today now 1 for 2 and a big 2 RBI double to get the Gatemen back out in front.
And if you're Ty Good, it looked like that was the pitch that he wanted. He might have just missed the spot and just left it out over the plate. And now Wareham gains their first lead of the game.
Sullivan stands in, and the first pitch to him is an off-speed pitch that misses low. So Good, after dominating the first 2 innings, runs into a bit of trouble here, but the defense not doing him many favors right now. Want to know the count? Here's the pitch, and that one's lined into left field. Coming in hard is Williamson, and he lays out, and he makes another diving catch for the second straight night. Ben Williamson on a low sinking top spin line drive comes in and lays out to his glove side, and once again has made an incredible play for the second straight night. The lead is still 3-2. The Harbor Hawks will come up in the top of the fourth. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
A 3-run inning for Wareham has put them ahead 3-2 in a very entertaining third inning, guys.
Very entertaining. We looked like it was going to be a pitcher's duel through 2, but then the bat said, hold on. We're gonna bring you some fireworks as well, and that third inning brings us 5 runs.
In that third inning, that bottom of the third inning for Wareham could have been a whole heck of a lot worse if Ben Williamson wasn't playing out in left field.
Yeah, we've seen it for the second straight night. He isn't a natural left fielder, plays third and short, plays the left side of the infield for William and Mary. But, hey, this is what you're out here to do. Show your versatility, and he's done it 2 nights in a row. 2 spectacular defensive plays to keep the lead at 1 for Wareham.
Yeah, and that was definitely going to be the 4th run of the game for Wareham if he did not catch that. If it got behind him, it was an interesting decision to lay out for that one, because if it did get behind him, that could have been a play where it might have led to an inside-the-park home run from Sullivan.
Yeah, it really could have, but once again, Williamson showing his prowess over in left field, continuing to put himself in a really strong position to show off. Like we said, early in this year, you're going to have, especially with Hyannis in their situation, you're going to have the opportunity to show off from in front of these scouts.
So it ends up as 3 unearned runs for good after the pair of errors by Glancy on that play that drove in the first run of the game. So 3-2 our score. Wareham leads Hyannis, but Ben Williamson will stand in. And the first pitch to him is low and away for ball 1. Want to know the count? Williamson takes low for ball 2. 2 fastballs, as it is Sam Malik coming in relief of Armstrong here, starting out in the top of the 4th. So it's 2 runs for Armstrong on the night tonight. Here's the pitch, and it's outside for ball 3. Not the start that Malik wanted.
Once again, first batter, you're going to have to settle in here, take a breath, and especially against Williamson, understanding his potent offense, you want to be careful.
Williamson takes strike 1. The 3-1 is fouled back, and the count will run full against Williamson.
Great battle back here from Malik. to go out and battle in.
On the night, Armstrong goes 3 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, and both of them were earned as the 3-2 is lined into right field, and it will get down in front of DiGiorno out in right field for a base hit, and Ben Williamson comes through with a leadoff single.
What a great piece of 2-strike hitting and approach. You want to hit the contact there, beautifully brings it through and gets it in to the center right field gap. Beautiful piece of hitting from Williamson.
Yeah, Williamson's a guy who hit nearly 400 with William and Mary, and that's what you do. He just puts on a hitting exhibition every single game, and he's been doing it on the defensive side. He's helping his team out here offensively as well with a leadoff single.
The CAA Player of the Year picks up his first hit of the summer, as it's Brody Donay standing in, the designated hitter, as he takes low and away for ball 1.
Donay had a good at-bat his last time around. We were talking about that he wants to lay off some pitches and stay a little more disciplined. He worked a walk, drew the count full.
1-0 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's low for ball 2. That was a good take from Donay. Those were a couple of those. We saw him chase a couple of those last night, but does a good job of laying off here as he works the count to 2-0, and he's gotten ahead in both at-bats so far. 2-0 the count. The pitch from Malik is popped up, a sky-high pop-up to center. Glancy comes in about 10 feet and will camp out under it for about an hour and a half before it finally comes out of the stratosphere and ends up in his glove for out number 1.
Talk about it. That thing went directly up that vertical launch angle. Going to talk to baseball ops about that. That thing had to go straight off the bat and up and into the air.
1 out, and here's Eric Snow. Here's the pitch, and it is taken in there for strike 1. Williamson getting his lead from first. A stealing threat. He runs well. Might be in motion here.
Would be smart, too, with Snow as well. He's got some speed, too. So maybe you could argue that sending him here is the right idea or holding on so both of them can be on base at the same time.
0-1 the count to Snow as Malik will step off here. 5 hits for Hyannis, 2 errors, and 2 runs in. Here's the 0-1 to Snow. He takes that outside. Snap throw back to first. Williamson back in time as it was a short hop as Sullivan wasn't able to dig it out. I don't know if they'd have him either way. But it's a called strike, and the count moves to 0-2.
Yeah, throw looked to be close. Williamson was getting back in there. Decent throw down from Hernandez behind the plate. Healthy lead here as well.
0-2 the count. Runner goes. Here's the pitch to Snow. That one's popped up on the infield, and Williamson's got to get back, but it's in shallow right field. Over-the-shoulder catch made by Sullivan, and Williamson got caught in between as he was trying to steal second. Great play by Sullivan to pull that one in, and he throws to first to complete the double play. To end the inning, we head to the bottom half. You are listening to Harbor Hawks Baseball on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England Pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, soon at Hyannis Harbor.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects, with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
Ty Good back to work here for the fourth. He gave up 3 unearned runs to Wareham in his previous half inning, but he's looked good so far today, guys.
Yeah, he's looked good. Had a strong outing so far. And once again, what you talk about is not earned runs, which is the tough aspect about that outing there and allowing those to cross where it's just really not his fault. Couldn't really do anything about it. But, hey, put it behind you. Come out here and try and keep it only at a 1-run lead for the Gatemen.
Will Cook will lead off as Ty Good will come out of the windup to begin the bottom half of the 4th inning. We're glad we have you here on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. The first pitch to him is swung on and missed. A mighty hack that he barely got a piece of, and fouls that one back. He did get a piece. Ty Good is a bit of a blast from the past type pitcher. He has opponents hit under 150 against his off-speed stuff, slider and a changeup that are his 2 most effective pitches. 0-1 the count. He skips that one in for ball 1.
If you haven't been able to tell this year, Mickey befriended baseball ops a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No, but look at the numbers. Like, it's absolutely incredible. Like, he doesn't have a ton of velocity. He's sitting high 80s. How often do you see a guy that's this effective that sits in the high 80s?
And like you talked about, Mickey, it's all about that pitch sequencing and how you want to set it up.
Here's the pitch to Cook as he lines that one into right field, over and to his right, but that one will slice out of play. Casella gave some chase towards the right field foul line, but ultimately peeled off, and the count will even up at 2-2. Here is that 2-2, and it's high and away for ball 3.
Yeah, the pitch selection from Good has looked really good today. He's mixing the fastball and mainly the curveball. You're seeing that just dunk in quite a bit. And he's chosen his moments, picked his moments to throw each pitch. He's chosen them well.
3-2, here's the pitch, and that one's lined down the right field line, and it is down and into the corner. Casella will cut it off before it hits the fence and will hold Cook to a single. So the 3rd hit of the game for the Gatemen as they have the leadoff hitter on for the 3rd straight inning.
Yeah, good piece of hitting, putting it where they ain't. It's literally just running it down the right field line, dropping it about 2 feet inside. Casella doing a great job to run to his left side to get over there. But now you get another base runner on with nobody out.
Yeah, it's setting the tempo really, really nicely, making good work for each out and to make sure he gets out of each inning unscathed.
So here's DiGiorno, here's the pitch, and it's an off-speed pitch that drops in there for strike 1. DiGiorno grounded out to end the 2nd inning into a 6-4-3 double play. And now comes up with a runner on first once again. The 0-1 as he shows bunt and taps that one foul behind home plate. He got an opportunity to put his bat on it, and he doesn't look very happy with himself.
Yeah, it looks like looking down the third base, telling it's on me. He should have had that one down and in a good position. And
0-2 the count. Good sets at the belt. And delivers. Here's the pitch, and that one's lined into left field. A sinking line drive in front of Williamson as he'll field it on a hop, and it's in there for a single. Cook will move up to second. DiGiorno comes through with his first hit of the game.
Yeah, DiGiorno was all over that. He had just tried to dunk that off-speed pitch in there. Looked like the slider, but he was all over it. He had time. He sat back very nicely, probably was anticipating off-speed, and he's roped it. And a really nice bit of contact the other way. Opposite field, beg your pardon.
Timeout called, and it'll be a meeting at the mound for Hyannis. So nobody out, runners at first and second, as Good will look to try and get out of this jam. As he lost the first hitter of the inning, Cook, to a single down the right field line as he roped that one down the line. But a good job by Casella to cut that one off. And then DiGiorno comes up and rips a single out to left. So hard contact, both first 2 hitters of the inning here for Wareham.
Now we'll see Sam Finn come on out to break up the conference here a little bit.
And Good was absolutely dominant through those first 2 innings, facing the minimum 6 hitters, and then kind of got away with it from him in the 3rd, but wasn't helped out by a couple of errors.
Yeah, but he started off that 3rd inning really strong. Started with the strikeout, and then the error that induced the 2 runs. That it was just a simple ground ball, a tailor-made double play ball to Laurie, and whether it was the runner or the bounce, whatever it was that happened to Laurie.
Black is going to square around to try and bunt, but he pops that one foul.
Yeah, whatever it was that happened to Laurie, he booted the ball. So you really, Good couldn't have asked any more out of himself. He put himself in the position to get out of that inning. And you said it, the defense just hadn't helped him on that time around, and they were punished for it.
0-1 the count to Dixon Black. Sets and deals, and it's taken low for a ball. It's pretty impressive that the last couple of innings have featured so much hitting, because that shadow from, I don't know if that's a gymnasium behind us, but it's a large school building, has crept directly in between the pitcher's mound and home plate. The 1-1 is swung on and missed, a nice changeup. And typically, when that ball leaves the pitcher's hand in the sun, it's shining very bright. It's got the spin. You can pick up the spin a little bit, but once it enters that shadow, your eyes need to make an adjustment, and it's a very interesting dynamic that typically allows pitchers to hide what kind of pitch it is. As he spikes that one in the dirt on the 1-2, it'll get to the backstop, and both runners will advance. And it'll be second and third with still nobody out.
Yeah, tough one there. Ultimately, now putting two even closer still with nobody out. Wareham in a position to go get two more. They're able to make contact in Black.
Strikeout situation here for Good. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch to Black as he lines that one into left center field. Over and to his right is Casella. He's under it, and he makes the play. Tagging from third is Cook, and he will come in to score. Also tagging on the play is DiGiorno, pulling into third. And the Wareham Gatemen have added one more as they double their lead 4-2.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. And once again, do your job for Dixon Black's able to make contact, get it out over to right field to Casella. Good throw by Casella, getting it in time to not allow any more movement. But I think Eric Beatty has seen enough. He'll make the motion to the bullpen.
Eric Beatty is on his way to the mound. We'll have a new pitcher here for Hyannis as they trail 4-2 in the bottom half of the fourth. Stick with us as we will see them try to work their way out of this one. You are listening to Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on the club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Welcome back to Spillane Park. The Harbor Hawks trail the Gatemen 4-2, and the Gatemen are threatening to score one more. And the final line is not quite closed on Good quite yet, but what do we have right now, Michael?
Right now he's gone 3 1/3, giving up 4 runs. One of those earned, the one that's just scored, as well as 4 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. But the runner on third is Good's responsibility, so the line may not close just yet.
So Thaniel Trumper will enter the game, the junior from the University of Kansas, standing at 6'3". A former pitcher of Doane University. What do we got on him, Jacob?
Yeah, really, when you talk about Trumper, you're going to have to come in this big, high-leverage situation. That's where he was the strongest. And ultimately, coming in a high-leverage situation, at this moment, you can't allow any more to cross because you're 2 away. I like to say, once you get 3 runs away, that's when it's starting to get a little far out of reach. Got to try and hold here. Still 1 away, though. Can work if you can manufacture 2 outs here. Get the bats back alive. You're going to look and start to pull out for Notre Dame, for Hyannis in that situation to get themselves back into the 8-9 and 1 due up.
Uh-oh. Notre Dame.
I know.
It's still early in the season.
Slipping.
It's all good. Trumper from the University of Kansas. He played in the Northwoods League last summer, was selected as a Northwoods League All-Star. So certainly a guy that has experience facing the top talent in the nation. Of course, Big 12 baseball. He plays the University of Missouri once a year. And standing in is Yadi Hernandez, the catcher for Wareham, as he will try and get through him. Here's the pitch, and it's taken low for a ball. Hernandez had a first pitch single back in the third inning, and he later came around to score. One out, here's the pitch, and he fouls that one back. A big, big rip from Hernandez. Count even at 1-1. It's a little unclear what the connection is to the Molina family that Hernandez has, but we do know that he is a relative of Benji and Yadier. Here's the pitch, and it is taken low for a ball. There's a bit of conflicting reports depending on where you read, but the most likely option that I've found is that he is the second cousin of the Major League catchers and, of course, is catching for Wareham. Infield in, 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it is an off-speed pitch that is taken just a little bit high. I believe that was high. 3-1 the count.
Yeah, if you're Trumpo here, just got to battle in. Don't want to leave anything too clean over the plate.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two.
Loads him up there. Now in a full count situation. Once again, gotta find the black here.
3-2 the count. Once again, the infield is playing on the grass. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He blew a fastball right by him, and I was about to say a walk would be pretty okay in this situation, setting up a double play ball, but that's one better. A strikeout on a fastball, and there's 2 outs in the inning, allowing the infield defense to relax and move back.
Yeah, that's why that's big. So now you can a simple ground ball will almost certainly end the inning. A big, big strikeout for Trumper.
Michaels will stand in here. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back to the backstop. He struck out back in the third inning against Good. One of Good's 3 strikeout victims. And he's behind in the count, 0-1 here. 4-2 Gatemen lead. Here in the bottom half of the fourth. They have 1 run in already. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Got away from him a little bit there as he misses very high, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, just a little bit of a slipper goes down.
Yeah.
Tap. Hey, get the dirt on it. You'll be fine.
That'll happen every now and then, even with the best pitchers in the country, even the best pitchers in the major leagues. You'll lose your release point just a little bit. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that one's fouled off the catcher Sundin's mask and will bounce away, so a bit of a stinger there, but he looks to be okay, and it's 1-2.
Always nice, like to see the common courtesy from Sam Finn to come on out from behind the plate, give the throw, just allow Sundin the time to compose himself and get back in it.
Michaels at St. John's University sees a 1-2 and strikes out swinging. So Trumper comes in and blows 2 fastballs by Hernandez and Michaels and gets out of the jam, preserving the Harbor Hawks deficit at 2. We head to the 5th inning. Harbor Hawks trail 4-2. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Back with you in a 4-1 baseball game. Hyannis trails Wareham right now, and leading off the inning, it's the freshman from Florida State, Cam Smith, as he hit that double to lead off the third inning, later coming around to score one of the 2 Harbor Hawks runs. It was a great approach for him against a really good pitcher in Armstrong back in the third, but now he faces Sam Malik, guys.
Yeah, and once again, you're going to have to come in, and that's when we see new pitcher, but same approach. Go attack, be confident in your at-bat. I like to see what Cam Smith here does. Rip that double, and once again, like you talked about, Michael, during that at-bat, had a confident swing, confident at-bat. Confidence brings good results.
Right-handed hitter Cam Smith faces the right-handed pitcher Malik. Malik against righties likes to utilize that fastball with a little bit of sinking action. Here's the pitch, and it goes behind him, and it must have grazed his jersey because they awarded him first base. It didn't look like it directly hit him, but might have grazed him. And heading out to first is Cam Smith after the hit by pitch. And for the third straight inning, the Harbor Hawks have their leadoff man aboard.
Now, and even though it's not a hit, it's another way on base for Cam Smith, and just being on that base, seeing that view, is going to get him even more confidence.
So here's Casella as he swings and misses at a fastball as that one got right behind him. For strike number 1, Casella, the junior from Elon University, the All-CAA first-teamer. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's inside as he jumps out of the way there. Count evens up at 1-1.
I would look for the hit and run here on this situation with Casella, his speed as well, and Smith's speed. I would like to see, I think I'm going to see a hit and run here in this at-bat at some moment.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch as he taps that one down the third base line. Up with it is Black on the backhand. He throws to second for 1. Throw on to first is nowhere near in time as the speed from Casella beats out the double play possibilities. And that is the first out of the inning.
Great job by Justin Casella to not give up on the play and run directly through the bag. However, you're back where you were just with 1 out now.
And I was going to say maybe playing devil's advocate off of you, there was a reason to not do that hit and run because now the top of the lineup comes up. But luckily for Casella, he beats out a double play ball, and that's a reason you do it. You've got each side of the ball there.
So here's Bradkey Laurie. The pitch to him is lined down the third base line, just a little bit foul. He missed a double and possibly an RBI double by about 3 feet there, and he will come back to the batter's box in an 0-1 count. He is 2 for 2 on the day so far with a single in the third that he later came around to score on and led off the game with a double. 0-1 the count is he throws over to first as that one was a little bit of a weird one as it skipped out of the hand of Malik. Looked like he lost his release point there. He skipped it about 10 feet in front of first base, but Sullivan was able to keep it in front of him. So Casella is back safely as he gets his lead. Here's the pitch, and that one's popped foul down the first base line.
Once again, Laurie behind in the count 0-2, but Malik doing a great job being ahead and commanding the zone and his pitches.
0-2 the count. They've yet to retire Laurie in this one. Here's the pitch. Skips in there for ball 1. Laurie, a native of Tampa, Florida. Playing shortstop today. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Tapped down the first base line on a short hop. Sullivan couldn't quite control it. He keeps it in front of him, so no double play possibility as he tags the bag simply to retire Laurie. But on the play, the runner, Casella, will move up to second. So Sullivan had a chance at a double play, but it was a weird hop. It was a short hop, a tough one to dig out, and was able to keep it in front of him and retire at least one. So Harbor Hawks have a runner at second for Trey Lipsy. The first pitch to him is low, and it hit him. It hit him directly in the foot, and he will move down to first. So the second hit batsman of the inning, and runners at first and second, and the go-ahead run comes up to the plate for Hyannis.
And this is a big at-bat for Alex Lane. He scored the first run of the game back in the third. He got that good inning going, and now he comes up in a big spot again here with 2 outs.
Lane has that RBI to his name so far, like Michael mentioned. And we'll look to add at least one more here. 2 outs, top of the 5th. The pitch from Malik is taken outside for ball 1.
And this is where you want to work a good at-bat. You don't want to be jumping if you're not seeing your pitch. You'll be looking for something that you can really turn on and try to score 1 run, if not both, and put it into the gap.
1 out, 1-0, the count to Alex Lane. Here's the pitch, and it skips in there. Snap throw to second, but diving back safely is Casella.
Yeah, there's that Molina blood that you're talking about. Really, really good block. And the snap throw down, it nearly did catch Casella leaning. He was way off, almost halfway down the line. He gives a little bit of a shrug, say, to his coaches before he gets the signs.
2-0 the count to Lane. Count advantage here. Here's the pitch, and it's taken up for ball 3.
Now you're in an interesting situation here if you're Malik. 3-0, 2 runners on, 2 outs here. Almost setting up. Would you just take the pitch here?
That shadow that I mentioned earlier is out of the way, and dusk has fallen. So hitters are back to their normal sights here. Here's the pitch to Lane, and it's taken low for ball 4, and the bases will be loaded for Andrew Sundin.
And this is a lineup switch that Sundin is now hitting in the cleanup spot from yesterday, as Sundin was hitting in the 8 hole yesterday, and it's for that reason that Sundin comes up with these bases loaded. You want him up in these situations. He's got to come through for him here. A single or anything into the outfield will most likely tie the game, especially now with the outfielders backing up. No doubles defense from them.
Yeah, Wareham will have a meeting at the mound, slowing the pace down, just trying to settle down Malik after he hit Lipsy and then walked Lane on 4 pitches. And finally, it will be broken up, and we are ready for baseball once again. Andrew Sundin stands in a big at-bat. The Harbor Hawks have looked for some situational hitting for a while now, but have another opportunity right here. Bases loaded, 2 down. Harbor Hawks trail by 2 here in the top of the 5th. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter for Hyannis here. Excuse me, it is still Sundin. So he will stand in. First pitch of the at-bat from Malik is taken all the way for ball 1 low. He tried to start him out with an off-speed pitch.
Now with Malik at that situation, now 5 consecutive balls. Now it's getting to a point where you might just have to lob one in over the plate, but once again, in this tricky situation, you don't want to just put it in there.
1-0 the count, and it is in there for strike 1.
And that's a good take from Sundin. You just want to see a strike.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily hack because you may not know even when it's coming.
Yeah.
So now you're in there, count even, and you're back to a competitive at-bat.
Sundin standing pretty far back in that batter's box. Here's the pitch. Taken high for ball 2. He stands pretty straight up in his stance. Swings that bat against his right shoulder with his front foot slightly elevated, his front heel slightly elevated. count leverage here. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Sundin rips that one deep into left center field. Back at the wall is Glancy, and it is off the wall. Scoring is going to be 2 runners as Sundin is going to pull into second, and the Harbor Hawks have tied the game. It was a 3-run double for Andrew Sundin as the runner from first lane came all the way around. It was a high arcing fly ball that just nailed the left center field wall, and the Harbor Hawks have actually taken the lead here.
Yeah, bases clearing double. Really, really good work from Sundin. He took it to the deepest part of the park. That might have been out anywhere else except the spot that he hit it. It hit up against the wall. It hung up for so long, and that part of the park is so deep that I wasn't sure if Glancy was going to get there or not. He nearly did, but once it landed and the ball's back in the glove, it's a bases clearing double. Huge, huge hit in a huge spot for Sundin.
Ben Williamson stands in with a runner at second and still 2 outs as the Harbor Hawks have striked in a 2-out situational hitting.
But let's talk about Alex Lane there.
Yeah.
He got on his horse from first,
all the
scored.
way from first.
And once again, although it's deep, to score from first is no easy feat. The man putting the wheels on.
Williamson takes a strike.
And you may think that is the 2-out approach as well. You're running on everything there, especially a guy of Lane's size. He's not the quickest because he is so big. So he gets around, and when he's trucking around third, he got in easily as well. It's a massive hit and massive play, as you said, from Lane to get around.
1-1 the count, and it's taken inside for ball 2. Williamson 1 for 2. He singled back in the 4th. Harbor Hawks have taken the lead on a 3-run double from Andrew Sundin as he gets his lead from second. Looking to once again get on his horse. 2-1 the count to Williamson. Here's the pitch. That one's lined down the third base line, and it is into the outfield and into the corner. Scoring around third is Sundin as Williamson will pull into second with a double, and the Harbor Hawks have extended their lead to 2 runs. It's 6-4.
Was going to say it about Sundin, and I'm going to say it about Williamson too. 2 extremely confident swings from the both of them. Pitches left up and pitches where you had to choose your moment. They've chosen their moment so well. Williamson always does. It isn't that Sundin doesn't, but he picked his moment well there, putting in a confident swing, as did Williamson. And now 4 runs coming in here in the top of the 5th, and there's going to have to be a chat now after that as well, maybe even a change.
6-4 Harbor Hawks, as it is going to be a pitching change for the Gatemen on their second mound visit of the inning. The Harbor Hawks on back-to-back doubles have stretched their lead out to 2. We're going to get you that new pitcher when we come back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
The Harbor Hawks have taken the lead on a pair of doubles from Ben Williamson and Andrew Sundin, and those bats that we were so excited about coming into the season that were so quiet yesterday have really come out here in the top of the 5th against Wareham.
Yeah, the word we've been using a lot, and I used it just a few minutes ago, was confidence. And they've been swinging the bat very confidently this inning. And the fact that Sundin especially, this is his first real look this inning at a real good pitch of the entire game. He didn't do too well last night, but he comes back and puts in a really, really hard swing to clear the bases. This is all, by the way, coming with 2 outs. So really, really good situational hitting from both Sundin and Williamson. And again, Sundin took that so far out that it might have been really anywhere else in the park. That's a grand slam for him. But again, really, really good work to extend the inning, too, from Williamson, bring in the inning's 4th run, and then keep extending this inning to get Donay up. And they're still looking for more.
Exactly. You're still looking for more. That's the big thing, is you don't want to change your mentality. And it's something that I cover Notre Dame softball religiously at school. Something our head coach, Jana Gumpf, says is hitting is contagious. When you start to make bat-on-ball contact, it starts to translate in the dugout. And you see that there. You see Sundin, big hit. Then Williamson, big hit. And that's all stemming from a hit-by pitch, a walk, and a fielder's choice, and then another hit-by pitch. It's all a setup there, which a beautiful job that they don't lose in the confidence and they use it and become contagious.
And then it also makes you go through to the dugout and say, who's going to be the guy who can get ragged on for ending that inning? You don't want to be the guy that gets out and ends all of this momentum in this inning as well.
The first pitch to Brody Donay is taken in there for a strike. He tried to check his swing, but it was a called strike. It's the new pitcher, Gus Hughes, toes the rubber. Out of Greensboro, North Carolina, the junior at High Point University, standing at 5'11". Here's the pitch. Brody takes slow and away for ball 1.
His approach has looked a lot better at the plate today as opposed to yesterday. He walked in his first at-bat on a full count as well, so he's really looked a lot more disciplined. He got on because of soft contact. He broke his bat late in the game. But in those first 2 at-bats, looked a little silly striking out. He's taken a lot better of an approach today.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and he takes a fastball that just misses for ball 2.
That one just missed out there.
Hughes' wind is very interesting. You look at right when he throws that ball, it's almost like his head pulls off and pulls away, maybe like not even looking at when he throws.
Donay 0 for 1 with a walk, but again, has taken some good at-bats as he pops that one up sky high down the first base line. Chasing after it is the defense, and it will fall in between Sullivan and Hernandez, the first baseman and catcher converging on that one right in front of the Hyannis dugout, and it will fall harmlessly, and the count will even up at 2-2.
Yeah, they're seeking for cover over there. They have a small little awning back there, but they were ducking to get off that front step. Everybody in the dugout on the railing, leaning over. Had to go make a little run for it. Make sure that you can see to play another day.
2 outs in the top of the 5th. Ben Williamson at second for Hyannis as they look to add 1 more. They lead 6-4 right now. Here's the pitch to Donay as he takes an off-speed pitch that drops in there for strike 3, and that will finally end the top half of the 5th. We head to the bottom half. Harbor Hawks strike for 4 runs. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
A 4-run 5th inning has given the Harbor Hawks the lead here in Wareham, as Wareham will try to come back up and answer it to this one, but it was a great approach in the top half of the inning for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, it was really, once again, we talked about hitting contagious, but then it's also just finding your way to get on base. We talked about you got to work a little small ball here early as you're starting to figure out the wooden bats. But once again, like we talked about, it is manufacturing the runners on, and they were able to do that really well there and not to give up. Once again, 2 outs. They're not slouching in the box. They're there confident in taking that swings.
And it really makes Coach Eric Beatty look really good, because this is a lineup switch from last night's game, putting Sundin in the cleanup hole, and that's exactly where he is today, and he was the one who brought in all 3 runs with the bases loaded. So it's work all around. It's you're switching the lineup a little bit, and then those players who you switch are showing exactly why they should be in those spots.
Glancy stands in and fouls the first pitch back, as back to work is Daniel Trumper, who struck out the last two hitters of the bottom of the fourth, Hernandez and Michaels, after coming in. 0-1 the pitch. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. Trumper with that big frame, 6'3", out of Fort Collins, Colorado. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Misses low. Bit of a slow wind-up. He starts with his shoulders square to the plate. 1 foot on the left-hand side of that rubber. 2-1 from him. Here's the pitch, and that one's hit very well to center field. Back is Lipsy to his right, and it is off the wall. Lipsy will field it off a hop off the wall, and pulling into second with a leadoff double is David Glancy, and the Gatemen are back in business.
Yeah, great response from David Glancy there after allowing 4 to come across in the top half of the fifth. Able to respond back really confidently, get 2, and now, once again, that pendulum swinging back the Gatemen's way.
So here's Sebastian Murillo standing in, the shortstop, as the leadoff hitter is once again on for the Gatemen. The only inning where they haven't done that is the first inning. Here's the pitch, and it's an off-speed pitch that drops in there. 4 straight innings as the leadoff man got on. So Hyannis doing a lot of work out of the stretch here. 0-1 the count. Trumper sets at the belt. He kicks and he deals, and that one's outside, and it gets to the backstop past Sundin, and moving up to third is Glancy.
Now you got a runner 90 feet closer to home. Still nobody out here.
Yeah, might even call that a pass ball. I mean, that one wasn't too far away from Sundin, just couldn't keep it in front of him as it was all the way up and out.
1-1 the count to Murillo, as that off-speed pitch is in there for a strike, and the count moves to 1-2. That sky is looking very threatening to pop flies right now, as continues to get more and more gray, exactly the same color as the ball. We've seen a lot of infielders over the years struggle with that, as that one's popped up right as I say that. Lipsy is back into his right in a left center field gap, but Williamson will make the play over the shoulder. Tagging and scoring is Glancy, and the Gatemen have cut the deficit in half. It's 6-5.
Yeah, great play by Williamson there, but just a great piece of hitting from Murillo there, just pushing it as far back in left field as possible to not allow Williamson to have the play to home. But now Wareham do a great job, get one back, but now bases clean. Hyannis still leading by 1 here, though.
Dylan Goldstein will stand in, the left fielder, left-handed hitter, as the first pitch is low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Trumper falls behind. No one out, no one on, 1 out. And 1 in here in the top of the fifth, as a fastball runs directly past Goldstein for strike 1.
And Goldstein, second team All-Conference USA for the second consecutive season, and really bringing that and translating it here to the Cape so far.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's high and away for ball 2. FAU, that's the Owls, correct?
Yes, that is the Owls. Mm-hmm. Come on, we don't remember their magical March Madness run?
I do.
Come on.
2-1 the count.
Let's give them the credit they deserve.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Jacob, how many mascots do you know? Percentage-wise, I know you're a mascot guy.
This is my area of expertise.
I am not asking you to name every single mascot. Please don't do that.
No, but I would say I'm pretty strong.
2-2 is that one's a little bit of an inside-out blooper, but it's right at Laurie at short, who puts it away for the second out of the inning. Yeah, no, not every mascot. Come on now.
Well, I would like to say, myself and JJ Post, a guy that I continuously work with at Notre Dame, we play a game at the start of our NDTV board meetings. We come up with an obscure school, D1 to D3, and you got to try and guess the mascot.
D1 to D3.
We have now gone through all of D1, so now we had to move to D2, and then I have to imagine we'll move to D3 at some point.
Sullivan grounds that one to the left side of the infield. Up with it is Laurie. He has to throw it across the infield, and he shows off a cannon arm to get the speedy Sullivan at first to end the inning. Wareham gets one back. The score is 6-5. We head to the 6th inning. You are listening to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Quite an entertaining game going down right now here from Wareham. A couple of lead changes have led to where we are right now, and that is a 6-5 Hyannis Harbor Hawk lead. As coming up in this inning will be Snow, Smith, and Casella against Gus Hughes, who goes out after striking out Donay to end the last inning, and will go back to work.
Can we just say, whoever's on aux today for Wareham, tossing bangers out there today. They got everyone moving in their seats here.
Pregame was a party.
Yeah, I know. We're on a 12-foot ladder, and it's it's a club in here.
Yeah.
Pre-game, you guys wouldn't stop talking about how good the aux is. And now you still, and I respect it. Like, it's a good aux as Snow pops the first pitch. Fouling out of play as he trails the count 1-0.
Yeah, and as we travel across the Cape and go back home to Hyannis as well, they were putting in some good songs last night, too. I don't think this is going to be the last mention of a pretty decent aux this season.
Oh, no.
No.
You got to give credit to the interns here. They're out here doing their work. Game ops, you got to give credit where credit's due.
Oh, yeah.
0-1 the count to Snow as he grounds that one to the left side and past the dive of Black and into left field. So a leadoff single for Eric Snow as he has his first hit of the game. And in stands Cam Smith.
Great piece of clean hitting there, just coming through on it. And once again, we've seen the gap between on that left-hand side really exploited often between Black and Marilla.
And not only that, but I mean, setting the tone early in every single inning for both teams, making each pitcher work.
Here's the pitch, and it is in there to Cam Smith. 0-1 the count.
Seems like every inning since the second or third that we've had the leadoff runner on, and for both teams, they're making sure that both pitchers really, really work for their clean inning.
Here's the pitch, and that's tapped foul. 0-2 the count to Cam Smith. As Gus Hughes gives up his first base runner of the game to Snow. And that sharp ground ball that Black nearly made a great play on. He laid out to his left, got dirty, but wasn't able to do it. Runner goes, or a snap throw back to first as Snow dives back on the high fastball. That's laid off by Cam Smith, and the count is 1-2.
Hernandez is going to make sure he keeps runners tight here. It appears later in this as the game goes.
Here's the pitch. Smith takes high for ball 2. Smith working the count, and that's kind of been a theme that we've seen all day here from Hyannis, as they have done a great job staying in there, especially in 2-strike counts. If they fall behind, they'll work the count. As Hughes deals the 2-2, Smith fouls that one back. And that's exactly what Coach Martinez was telling us post-game, Michael, is he wanted to see a little more laying off of those off-speed pitches that are trying to get you to chase. And that's exactly what the result Hyannis has gotten so far today. 2-2 the count to Smith. Here's the pitch, and it skips in there for ball 3.
Yeah, Tino really couldn't be much happier with what he's seeing today. And even when you do get fooled by those pitches when the string is pulled, just spoiling those off, as Cam Smith has been doing here, is just of the essence to keep yourself alive.
Full count to Smith. Snow gets his lead from first. Here's the pitch, and he lays off way outside. Hernandez made a diving try to his right to stop that one from going to the backstop. So the first 2 are aboard for Hyannis, and here comes Casella.
What an athletic play by Hernandez there to keep it in front of him. Like we've talked about here at Spillane Field, it is a deep backstop. There is no way around it. So to keep it in front of him allows just that extra base from putting now only 1 in scoring position currently, but could have put 2.
Top of the 6th, 6-5 game. Hyannis with runners at first and second as they lead. First pitch to him is taken outside as Casella squared around to bunt there, but he pulls back as that one was high and away for ball 1.
A similar situation to last inning. They've got runners on now. The tone has been set early. That's a common show to bunt, and it's a common place in the game to bunt with 2 runners on and nobody out.
Here's the pitch as he bunts that one foul back to the backstop. And the count will even at 1-1.
And it'll be interesting to see if he bunts again, where he's going to try to aim, and the recipient of the ball, what that fielder is going to do, because you're sometimes taught to not necessarily be the hero and make that force play, but it depends on where the ball goes and exactly how much time you have to field it. But if a successful bunt gets squared, a fly ball will score a run.
The third baseman, Black, is playing with his toes nearly on the grass. Now he'll creep into the grass. 1-1 the count. Bunt situation here for Casella. The pitch is taken for strike 2. So there goes the bunt. You'd have to think there goes the bunt.
Yeah.
Once again, still nobody out here. 1-2. Can still make contact hitting. You've seen Casella so far in the 2 games now really just make solid contact.
1-2 as it drops in there as he squared to bunt again. It was an off-speed pitch that was called for strike 3. He pulled back, tried to take that one, but he is rung up, and that is the first out of the inning.
It did square around to bunt. It was maybe to be a bit outside. It didn't look too close to it, but hey, that's the call, and Casella didn't seem too fussed about it. He's just gone straight back.
Brad Keylori will stand in as the top of the lineup will come off. 2 for 3 day for Laurie so far as the throw over is back to second. Bit of a lazy throw to try and check on Snow, just letting him know he's paying attention to him.
Yeah, that throw from Hughes could have gotten really dicey quickly, but a great leaping play by Michaels. It might not be necessarily a ball that's hit that he made the play, but a good play there nonetheless.
The first pitch to Laurie is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Again, the lineup turning over for the second inning in a row with runners on. And it was these next few hitters, as well as Laurie, who extended innings and got themselves on for Sundin. We'll see how this inning plays out.
The 0-1 is taken in there for strike 2. 2 perfect pitches from Hughes there.
Grab the paint roller, man. He's painting that outside part of the plate. Beautifully done. Now I would like to see him maybe run inside here a little bit to try and mess with it.
Both have been away. It looks like they're might be going low here. 0-2 the count as he fouls that one back. That probably wasn't where he wanted that. So 0-2 the count still. Laurie singled in the third, doubled to lead off the game. And grounded out in the fifth. To the count to him. Here's the pitch, and it's up and in. Got buzzed a little bit there. He ducked out of the way. That one's ball 1.
Have to keep your head on a swivel there. Does a great job to get out of the way there. Turning directly behind him in the right side batter's box.
1-2 the count. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Perfect off-speed pitch that was put in the dirt perfectly. It just ducked out of the zone. And that is out number 2. And that'll bring up Trey Lipsy looking for a 2-out RBI.
Got a lot of noise from the dugout on that pitch. It was a very, very well-executed pitch and an even bigger out. Now the infield can back up a little bit more, knowing that any ball to them, they can go anywhere they want.
Lipsy was hit by a pitch back in the 5th. 0 for 2 outside of that as he fouls the first pitch off. Onto the roof of the school behind us, and he falls behind to the count 0-1.
Wareham High School right behind us. Multi-use field here. Could also be turned into a football field come August.
0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that one's grounded back up the middle. Up with it is Murillo. He fires across the infield just in time to get the speedy Lipsy at first, and the Harbor Hawks come up empty here in the 6th. 6-5 our score. We head to the bottom half. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England Pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
See you soon at Gannon Tavern.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects, with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
The Harbor Hawks lead the Gatemen here in the bottom half of the 6th. 6-5 our score right now. Back out to work is Thaniel Trumper, who's had a solid inning in 2/3 of work so far. And Wareham will look to try and take the lead here, guys.
Yeah, they will, but we're looking for our jackets here as it's starting to...
Temperature dropping.
Yeah, it's starting to drop now, sitting around 62 with the little breeze, nothing too crazy, but beauty of those summer nights here on Cape Cod might be up into the middle 70s during the day, but man, oh man, does that temp drop once you lose that sun here.
So as the temperature drops, Wareham will bring up Cook, DiGiorno, and Black due up in this inning. So Will Cook will lead it off for the Gatemen, a 1-for-2 effort so far on the game. He came around and scored in the 4th, and he struck out in the 2nd. Facing Thaniel Trumper.
Big spot here for Wareham to go try and tie it up going into the back out, the later 3rd.
First pitch to him is swung on and missed. Trumper blowing that fastball right by him. He threw 55 innings in relief this year as he throws another fastball right past Cook. That is a lively fastball. He threw 55 relief innings, the 7th most in Division I this year. Whew. For Kansas. That is a big workload. The 0-2 is inside, brushing Cook back. Opponents hit 205 against him on the year, and that is the 2nd lowest in the Big 12 Conference.
And that's the craziest thing is that you're out there for 55 innings of relief, and you only have a 205 batting average, and you have to imagine.
1-2 is a knuckler down the third base line, and it is right at Smith for out number 1.
That he was put into some sticky situations at times, and yet still only batting 205. That really just shows the confidence. And then what also impresses me, he's back out in summer trying to get more work as well, even after having that impressive year.
So here's Drake DiGiorno. Here's the pitch to him, and that's first pitch swinging at an off-speed pitch is out of play, and it's 0-1. DiGiorno so far on the day is singled in the 4th and grounded into a double play in the 3rd. The slick fielding right fielder can also play a little bit of middle infield as he pops that one a mile high into shallow right center field. Snow and Casella converging on it, and they both call each other off, and they realize that nobody had the catch, and it just drops in.
It's like we talked about earlier, it's communication early in the season. You've only played with these guys a couple of times, and trying to earn that communication is sometimes tough, and you're still trying to figure each other out. But Snow and Casella, just between the two of them, really didn't have a strong communication. Both of them thought they weren't going to get it, but then just drops in.
Throw over to first, checks on him, and he's back in time. So Trumper's going to have to battle through some adversity here, as a lot of times you can't rule one of those pop-ups as an error when nobody touches the ball, but in that case, they were both under it, and you can rule it an error by rule. I'm not sure what the official scoring.
They have not ruled it an error. They will rule it as a hit.
Okay.
You read my mind. That was the next thing. Was I've got it as a hit because it touched no leather.
Yeah, but if they're both camped under it, there's a caveat to that. If both of them are camped under it, it can go either way. It's a weird gray area in the rules. The 1-0 is taken up and in as Dixon Black gets a little bit buzzed there.
Where it's the same thing, where if you got a guy making a diving catch and it hits off of his glove, that's tough, but I might be putting that in the book as an error too. But yeah, it can go either way. It's the beauty of scoring, right?
It really is, and that's why here in Cape Cod is no one affiliated with the team. It's a third-party contractor that comes into the games.
The pitch is inside once again, and Trumper falls behind 3-0 to Black.
Yeah, and you see that at certain home games where sometimes where the official scorer will give their guy an error so it doesn't go to their earned run average or anything like that. But yeah, it's important. Sometimes sometimes a guy will be given a hit to boost that average up a tick or two.
The 3-0 is in there for strike one, a little bit of a get-me-over fastball.
But yeah, it really is one of those things, scoring, especially, we even talked about a plate appearance or at bat, like in the early stages of this game. It really is the beauty of baseball, is the really niche scoring opportunity.
It's so subjective. Here's the pitch, foul back. And it's a sport of numbers that has always prided itself on numbers and batting average and home runs. The reality of the situation is numbers lie, and they are a little bit subjective.
Don't start throwing that around. He might upset some people in the baseball ops department that he's befriended.
Was that play not subjective? They would agree with me.
Ooh.
Any stats major that's the first thing they teach you. 3-2 is just a little bit inside, and Black draws the walk.
Good job by Black there to really find himself in that position, and once again laying off with it, not feeling tempted at 3-2 to protect the plate and able to be confident in his strike zone.
So runners at first and second. Trumper facing a little bit of trouble here. First pitch is way outside, and that one skips to the backstop, and both runners will move up on another Hyannis wild pitch. So Trumper now will go for a strikeout, as the infield, you have to imagine, will come in here.
108, that is the positive, but like you said, you lose the ability to turn two. I think we'll see a quick conference on the mound to talk it over, but then to go back to this, and I'm going to continue our scoring conversation here a little bit. Wild pitch versus pass ball.
It's another one.
Extremely subjective call there as well.
And typically, like on that one, obviously, it was a wild pitch. It was about 8 feet off the plate, which is, maybe lost his release point just a little bit. But wild pitch typically goes towards the pitcher. It has to be a lot to be a pass ball. It has to be very much within the catcher's range to catch it. A lot of times it doesn't hit the dirt. If it does hit the dirt, I'd say about 95 times out of 100, it's going to be ruled a wild pitch.
I've got Glancy advancing from second to third as a pass ball. It just seemed like Sundin kind of reached out and missed it. And it may have even hit some glove there. So that could also be part of it, too, is if it clips the glove or if it's not kept in front or whatever. But, yeah, I've got a pass ball in my book on Glancy. But I've got the rest as wild pitches. Yeah, obviously the rest of the ones were definitely wild. But you could say the pitch that Glancy advanced from second to third on, you could say that there's an argument for both.
So Yadi Hernandez ahead in the count, 1-0. The infield is not in as he fouls that one back. Interesting call here by Hyannis to not have the infield in. 1-1 the count, and now Smith will come in a couple of steps. He's standing right in between second and third in the baseline. He'll probably crawl in just a little bit out of that. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's inside. Corners are in. Lane, the first baseman, standing on the grass. Smith also on the edge. It's a fly ball to the outfield. A deep fly ball to the outfield probably ties the game here. With good speed with DiGiorno at third. Here's the pitch. Pop up on the infield. Over and to his left is Lane in foul territory, and he's going to watch this one fly into the fifth row. 2-2 the count. And now the throw from the umpire gets past Trumper on the mound.
Yeah, Sam Finn, home plate umpire there, showing himself a little remorse that he couldn't get it there in time on a clean throw.
Hernandez about to see a 2-2 pitch as the infield comes in fully now. Here's the pitch, and that one's popped up again. Right side of the infield. Lane over to his right in front of the dugout. He makes the play. No one's covering home, but luckily Hyannis is able to scramble and keep DiGiorno at third, and that is a very, very great result from Trumper.
Yeah, great result there. Able to force him up. You had that one, like you said, that goes out of play, almost the same position, but then Lane giving chase to it. And it almost benefits him that there was one before because he figured out how far that guardrail was, especially when you're playing at all these different fields. The 10 home fields here on Cape Cod, you have to figure out the dimensions. Does a great job to get over there, feel where it.
Kevin Michaels stands in and takes outside for ball one. And nearly, because everybody was converging on it, Trumper, the pitcher, came off the mound and was chasing after it. Sundin, the catcher, was chasing after it. But Lane ultimately put it away, the first baseman. Nobody was covering home. And it was almost allowed Wareham to steal a run. Here's the pitch. It is just off the plate. Checked his swing. The appeal down to the first base umpire. No swing, and it's 2-0. Still no hits in the inning for Wareham. They're going to need one to get a run home here. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 3. And you don't want to walk Michaels to bring up the top of the order. Timeout's called here as it looks like they're going to intentionally walk him here. And that will bring up David Glancy. So they're going to bring up the top of the order intentionally. And it looks like we're going to have a meeting at the mound, and this might do it for Trumper. It's going to be a Hyannis pitching change. And we'll tell you exactly who's coming in. Coming up next, Hyannis leads 6-5. But has the bases loaded on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky. Because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it. Did it better. And she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Jamie Arnold is the new pitcher for Hyannis here with 2 outs. Wareham has loaded the bases in the bottom half of the 6th, looking for a massive hit here, guys.
Massive hit indeed. And it's an interesting call here to intentionally walk to get it back to the top of the lineup in David Glancy, but something that the Hyannis Harbor Hawks dugout must like here in this matchup between Arnold and Glancy. Interested to see what comes of it, but Arnold, the Florida State man, pitched in 24 games, had a 6.34 ERA. We'll see how it plays out here in a big leverage spot, the southpaw.
Yeah, Nathaniel Trumper on the hook for, actually he's not, because of the error that led to DiGiorno getting on the shallow pop fly that landed in shallow right field, and that is why we are here right now. So with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, this game has been an absolute treat, guys. We've had a lot of scoring, a lot of lead changes that has, for now, culminated in a 6-5 Harbor Hawks lead, but a high leverage situation here. It's going to be Jamie Arnold, the left-handed pitcher, against David Glancy, the right-handed hitter. The center fielder so far today doubled back in the 5th. Reached on an error on a fielder's choice and popped out on the infield as he takes the first pitch down and in for ball 1.
This is a high leverage situation in this spot for Arnold to get his first appearance of the summer.
You understand that you always want to get ahead in the count, but especially with the bases loaded. You do not want to pitch from behind in the count and force yourself to come in. Want to know the count? 2 outs, here's the pitch, and it's low for ball 2. Glancy looking to give Wareham the lead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Arnold here, really, I like him taking his time here to try and really meticulously paint.
2-0 the count. That one's tapped to the left side of the infield. Up with it is Smith, and he's going to step on third. It's going to be a 5 unassisted play to get Hyannis out of the inning. Wareham strands the bases loaded. We head to the 7th inning. You are listening to Harbor Hawks Baseball on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, soon at Gannon Tavern.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects, with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
Alex Lane will lead off the top half of the 7th for Hyannis, and we have a special guest. It's Nico, our producer. How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? Feels good to be on the mic with you guys, joining you guys.
Don't worry, hold on. You might be a producer, but you don't know how to put the headset on yet.
It's good to be here, guys. It's fun, watching the game from behind. So, I'm excited to see, get on the mic with you guys.
Yeah, get on the mic.
Experience,
Hey, but what people might not know about Nico, baseball man himself.
A pitching ninja, if you will.
Ooh, slicing them.
I don't know about ninja, but we can call it that. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
You gonna stick around for the half inning with us?
Yeah, I'll be here for the half inning, guys. I'm excited to join you guys.
Alex Lane will lead it off for Hyannis, and back out there is Gus Hughes for Wareham. Here's the pitch, and that one's lined into left field. Sinking line drive, and it's dove, and it is caught by DiGiorno in right. That is another great outfield play we've seen in this one. Williamson had the diving catch earlier in the game. DiGiorno came charging in on that one, laid out, and made a great play.
A flying saucer out there for DiGiorno, getting it down, extends out the glove, does a great job opening it up, and what a great job by DiGiorno, and especially in these situations where you want to try and limit the traffic.
Absolutely. Leadoff guy, huge. Got a great jump on it, made an arm side diving play. What a play right there. Start off the inning.
So here's Andrew Sundin as he taps that one foul. You can almost say that wasn't delivered. He didn't deliver the single. He DiGiorno'd the single.
Oh, we were talking about this on the car ride here, Mickey. We were wondering when we were going to be able to get it in.
You know, I knew it was only a matter of time before you guys brought that one out. Well played there. Well played.
0-1 the count here to Sundin. Pitch is in there for strike 2. So far on the day, he's 1 for 2 with that 3 RBI double back in the 5th. He also struck out in the 2nd and grounded out in the 4th. The 0-2 is just inside for ball 1.
Back-to-back sliders right there. That one just came up a little bit of arm side right there. Just stayed up a little high. Great take there to make the count 1-2 right there.
1-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and that one's poked out to right field. DiGiorno back into his left as he reaches up and makes that play for out number 2.
It's plays like those that you feel like you got the magnet in them. Back-to-back plays, it's coming right for you.
And that swing really speaks to the power of Sundin right there. I mean, 2 strikes, fastball away, and just threw his hands out. You can see the power he has, just threw his hands out there and still found its way into right center field.
Kind of just threw the back head out there, and it made kind of okay contact, not great contact, but it traveled really far. So in stands Ben Williamson, who had an RBI double of his own back in that big 5th inning for Hyannis, as he takes strike 1 call.
Hughes went back to the slider right there. Nice pitch there to start off 0-1.
Pitch, it's a fastball, and it's popped up to right. Who else is out there but it's DiGiorno ranging under it, and he has put all Harbor Hawks away here in the 7th. We head to the bottom half, and we will stretch. Thank you for joining us, Nico.
Nico, quick one here for you. You couldn't even get a quick.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Bottom of the 7th here at Spillane Park. The Harbor Hawks lead the Wareham Gatemen 6-5. It's been an entertaining game throughout. And Jamie Arnold back to work for the Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, is our producer Nico Sharp going to have to take my spot here? I mean, it was a quick inning, but from what I'm hearing, I mean, it's a pretty good one. Yeah, we got a former player sitting behind us.
Yeah, former player. It's always proves to be beneficial when you got a player behind us. Able to call a couple pitches in there for us.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. Of course, he has the sliders down. He has the sequencing down. Sequencing master, if you will. But right now, we got an out-of-town scoreboard.
Yeah, let's take a look around Cape Cod. Back across the Bourne Bridge, Katuitt beat Yarmouth in an 8-6 beating. Then Harwich beat up on Orleans 10-3 today. Still active. Those both games are final. Still active today. Bourne and Falmouth knotted at 2 in the bottom of the 8th. And then at the top of the 4th, Chatham out in front of the Whitecaps 5-1.
Sebastian Murillo stands in to lead off the inning as he swings and misses at a fastball for strike one. So Jamie Arnold back to work, the big southpaw. Getting the first pitch swinging, and here comes the 0-1. Outside for ball one. Cape Cod's going to be a lot of fun this year. A lot of really, really great talent out here. Players that you're going to see get drafted. Players that you're going to see in the show in a couple of years. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that is in there, strike two.
And that's like the league's moniker. The stars that shine today are the stars of tomorrow, really, that work well, and that's just a testament to this league that continues to show and show out and get the best players from around the country.
The 1-2 is taken off speed outside for ball two. Count evens up at 2-2. Murillo so far today, 0 for 3. Or excuse me, 0 for 2. He had that sacrifice fly back in the fifth. 2-2, here's the pitch, and it's outside for ball three. Check swing. He did check his swing. Appeal down to first, and the count runs full.
This is a tone-setting out here for Arnold if he can be able to battle down.
3-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and it is in there. Strike three. He rung him up, and the first out of the inning is a backwards K for Jamie Arnold.
Beautiful placement on the outside part of the plate. Arnold's able to get it there and just really works at him and knocks him up still up top.
He got him with a fastball, two-seamer, a little bit of arm side run there on the outer third of the plate. And in stands Goldstein. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. Lefty on lefty here with one out in the bottom half of the seventh. Six to 5 our score. Here's the pitch, and it is just a little bit in. Goldstein so far today, a 1 for 3 effort. He had a 2 RBI double back in the third inning. Part of that 3-run third inning. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for strike. Count at 1-1. Jamie Arnold, the southpaw from Florida State, native of Tampa, Florida. Here's the 2-1. And it is in there for strike two. And nobody's that happy about that, as it looked like it was just below the knees, but a friendly call, and Arnold draws the count even.
Yeah, Wareham dug out right below us, literally, here as we sit on top of them, calling for it.
2-2, swing and a miss. He pulled the string on him, and the second K of the inning here for Arnold. And it feels like this game has sped up quite a bit as pitchers have started to find their groove.
Come on, second game in, and we're already talking about speed.
Speed? What are we doing?
You can't talk about the pace of the play. Come on.
No, that's fair.
Come on. While there is a pilot program for the pitch clock here, there's none necessarily overtly being called on.
With 2 outs in the inning, Sullivan stands in. Listen, I don't care if the games are long.
I don't either, but
I love sitting here. I feel like that comes from superstition from broadcasters that just don't want to be there. They want to get out of there as quickly as possible. 0-1 the count. Sullivan takes in there, strike two.
He's got the new broadcaster love about him that he's we're going to go.
Know.
Yeah, we got. It's not like we got
this long time.
Why do you think I haven't said a word yet? Why do you think I'm staying quiet over here?
This is my second year doing this.
This is making me sound like the devil's advocate.
Here's the pitch, and it is inside for ball one.
I agree with you. I'm down to be here for 6 more hours. It's baseball. Long as baseball's on, I'll be here for however long you need me to be.
See, that's where Mickey draws the line, apparently. 6 hours.
6 more hours. 6 more hours.
1-2 the count, and it is low for a ball.
6 more hours, so already on top of just the 2:15 we've already seen today. Whew.
Yeah.
My partners are in it for the long haul today, people.
You know it.
2-2 the count, and it is swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts in the inning. Nicely done for Jamie Arnold as he strikes out the side, and we head to the 8th inning. Harbor Hawks lead the Gatemen 6-5. You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Donay, Snow, and Smith to lead off the inning for the Harbor Hawks as they hold a 6-5 lead over the Wareham Gatemen right now here in Wareham. And it has been a back-and-forth game throughout, but in the last couple of innings, the last 6 hitters have gone down in this one.
Yeah, and
pitching has kind of taken a front seat.
Pitching has taken a front seat, but once again, we've seen it happen, especially with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. That 5th inning, it can just start to happen, be contagious there. So really, don't want to count any more offensive fireworks out of the picture. We saw it yesterday with Falmouth in the Wareham game.
Donay takes a big hack at the first pitch, and that looks like it got a piece of home plate umpire Sam Finn as he will walk that one off. He got a piece of it. It was fouled straight back and went off his mask. So they're going to give him a moment here as the count is 0-1. That one didn't feel good, but he's going to walk around a little bit, and he's going to call time. So with that foul tip off his mask, we're not sure what really is going on here, but typically when a foul tip goes off either a catcher's mask or a hitter's mask or a umpire's mask, they'll have a little bit of a walk. They'll give the umpire time to kind of shake it off. And the catcher, Hernandez, went out to talk to Hughes, and they might be calling this a conference, guys.
Yeah.
They might be charging a conference at home plate or at the pitcher's mound to Wareham.
Yeah, and James Francesca, first place umpire, keeping tabs of that there, and they will issue it a conference.
Wow.
Skipper Smythe not happy there.
That seems like something that you kind of got to give them just because that's kind of like it's an unwritten rule that you just give the umpire time to walk it off. But Brody will look at strike 2 as Brody and Yadi Hernandez, the 2 catchers, were kind of having a chat about it.
And that's the conference between the pitch clock in that situation.
0-2, it skips in for ball 1.
It's about how you want to speed up the game, and if it's limiting the mound visits, that's part of it. But once again, that's one of those instances where it's a tough spot if you're Hughes in the battery.
1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Donay takes inside. So far today, Donay walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th, and flew out to center in the 4th. He's had a pretty good approach. I think we all agree on that today. 2-2 the count. And it's a off-speed pitch in there that froze Donay, so he goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, again, pulling that string, and don't really think that's any fault of Donay's approach. He was just completely fooled by that. Nice pitch, nice location.
So here comes Eric Snow from USF. He's grounded into 2 double plays in this one. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for strike one. Excuse me, he's been in 2 double plays. He grounded into a double play 6-4-3 in the second, and then he hit a bit of a pop-up in the fourth. He takes the second pitch in there for strike 2 that caught Williamson in between first and second in a weird double play. So that one you can't really blame Snow. It was just one of those where he popped it up. Probably should have been a normal out as he taps that one just foul down the third base line. It looked like it went off the plate.
Yeah, went off the plate there. That's what it looks like. Sam Finn will call it on that situation.
So the count remains at 0-2 to Eric Snow. 0 for 3 day yesterday. Was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat of the summer, but did reach on a single in the 6th. Here's the 0-2, and it's high for ball 1. 2 runs in the 3rd, 4 runs in the 5th for the Harbor Hawks to get to 6 runs. As the 1-2 to Snow is poked into center field, a sinking fly ball coming in, and diving for it is Goldstein, but it hits the ground in front of him. He'll keep it in front of him, and that one is down for Snow's second hit of the game.
Like you said, a nice little poke, just getting it into that shallow left center field in front of Goldstein. Has to lay out for, does a good job to get himself on board. Once again, contact hitting, which we're really liking to see right now from the Hawks.
And then that sets their game plan into motion, too, to be using their small ball, to be using their speed on the base paths to get themselves into easier scoring positions.
Here's Cam Smith stepping in and fouling the first pitch up and back and out of play. Walked in the 6th, was hit by a pitch in the 5th, and then doubled and later came around to score in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, way better approach today from Smith. He's been way more active, way more selective with his pitches, and way more confident in his swings.
Swing and a miss at the fastball, elevated at the letters for strike 2. So now he has his sight raised. We'll see what Hughes goes to. He can go off speed low. Once you see that fastball high, typically, not typically, but a lot of times you will see a pitcher go off speed low, but he goes back to the fastball that misses high.
And now I think that's going to set up here in this situation for that off speed there, Mickey. You agree?
I agree.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Got 2 ducks in a row over here.
Yeah.
1-2 the count to Cam Smith. Here's the pitch, and it's an off-speed pitch that missed badly inside. It brushed him back off the plate. Count evens up at 2-2. Wareham, of course, was in a close game last night as well. Well, it wasn't close up until the 9th inning. 11-10 victory, but they led 11-5 going into the 9th. A little bit of a scare there as the 2-2 is taken just outside for ball 3. Wareham last year finished at the bottom of the West Division, 13-24-7, missing the playoffs, but they did win the Cape League Championship back in 2018. Here's the pitch, way high for ball 4. So a great job battling back from Cam Smith. And with 1 out, there's runners at first and second, and the Harbor Hawks are back in business.
Yeah, really good approach again at the plate. Good eye from Smith. And now this is your time with Casella coming back up and then the top of the lineup with the car turning over to give yourself a little bits of insurance runs and get yourself into a more comfortable position to close this game out.
And now there's a situation where because of that mound visit being called, that they don't have the time to come out to have that conversation where you would want to.
First pitch is swung on and missed. He blew a fastball right by him. Casella so far on the day struck out in the 6th, popped out on the infield in the 3rd, then grounded into a fielder's choice back in the 5th. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Lined back up the middle, a base hit. They're going to wave in Snow, and then the throw on a late stop sign as the throw comes in from center. Glancy has a good arm out there and threw a dart back in. And the play would have been close, but with that single, the bases are juiced here in the top of the 8th for the Harbor Hawks.
I think that stop sign is the correct thing to be doing. That the ball was not hit too hard, and Glancy was charging onto it, and it would have looked like Snow was a sitting duck if that throw does come home.
A mound visit will occur here, as that might do it for Gus Hughes. The bases are loaded here in the top of the 8th with only one out, and it looks like this might just be a normal conference on the mound. We will see, and it looks like they're just going to give a couple more throws to their bullpen arm, and it will be a pitching change for the Gatemen. So here in the top of the 8th, the Harbor Hawks have the bases loaded in a 6-5 ball game with one out, looking to extend their lead. Stick with us right here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
With the top of the lineup coming up for the Harbor Hawks, and Brad Keylori due up with the bases loaded and only one out, it's going to be Reed Interdonato in for Wareham. And guys, this is a guy that is a tall right-handed pitcher. What do we got on him?
Yeah, comes in with a 9.07 ERA from Monmouth. Had 12 appearances and was a typical starter, though, for him. Interested to see how he settles in here in this situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's a high-leverage situation for the Harbor Hawks. And it looks like it will be Brad Keylori. You had to wonder if they were going to send a pinch hitter up there, but it is going to be the right-handed hitter, Laurie, against the right-handed pitching Interdonato, who has that lower three-quarters release. He's got a lot of funk in his windup. And we'll see if he can get out of this bases-loaded jam he faces here against Hyannis. Wareham 1-0, but trailing 6-5 here in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch to Laurie, and it is inside for ball one.
Yeah, this is the time for Hyannis if they want to strike and try and pick up a couple more assurance runs, especially heading into the bottom of the 8th and 9th, that you want to be comfortable with yourself going in there.
Here's the pitch, and that one's grounded down the third base line and just foul. Interdonato as a fastball slider changeup combo. Fastball high 80s to lower 90s. Tops out at 94. The slider in the upper 70s or lower 80s, and the changeup typically sits in the mid 80s. 1-1 the count here to Laurie, and it is in there on the lower third of the plate, and the count moves to 1-2.
Yeah, big 1-2 here. They could get Interdonato to come in here.
Yeah, and if you're Laurie, a fly out deep to the outfield gets a run home, and that extends the lead to 2. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch to Laurie, and that's a line drive, and it is down into right center field past the dive of DiGiorno, and this is trouble as it gets behind him and rolls all the way to the wall. This is going to score 3 runs, and Laurie has come through with a 1-out triple as he pulls into third. Wareham and DiGiorno, he dove for the ball coming in and to his right, and it skipped behind him. And just like that, the Harbor Hawks have struck for 3 runs in the 8th. They lead 9-5.
What a beautiful piece of hitting there from Laurie. A nice little contact piece of hitting comes through on it into the center field, right field gap, gets it down in front of DiGiorno, and a great piece of hitting and showing off those wheels as well.
In stands Trey Lipsy as he takes low for ball 1. After a night that saw a lot of Harbor Hawks struggles at the plate last night, they have come alive tonight. Taking great approaches from the plate as that one's fouled back. They've taken just a great approach at the plate tonight, just laying off some tough pitches out of the zone, facing some really, really great Wareham pitching. And have gotten 9 runs across here. 1-1 the count to Lipsy as he swings and misses at strike 2.
And it puts way less emphasis on the back end of the bullpen now. You've got your insurance, and now you can stick with your guys, and you don't have to run out the back end guys and just keep them fresh for tomorrow if you need them.
1-2 the count to Lipsy. And here's the pitch, and it's taken low for ball. 2-2.
Now, once again, you got to give credit to Casella for getting on his horse to score from first again. Really great piece of running here continuously.
2-2, and it's taken low and away for ball 3. Lipsy, an 0 for 3 night so far, but he was hit by a pitch and later came around to score in the 5th.
So you're saying he's due?
Sure, he's due. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and that one's flown down the left field line and out of play. I don't like saying people are due because I feel like it jinxes them.
Oh, okay. Well, I never thought about it like that. Yeah, you're probably right there.
Of course, Lipsy with a ton of power out of the left-handed batter's box, facing a right-handed pitcher here. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. He takes low and in the dirt for ball 4. Nice at-bat from him as he reaches for the second time tonight. And that'll bring up Alex Lane with runners at the corners.
Big spot here. Now you have the conversation of send maybe the double steal on here to play a little gamesmanship, especially when you talk about Lipsy's speed as well as Laurie's speed. You can get them dancing out there and have a dance party and hit the Cupid Shuffle over there.
What?
The Cupid Shuffle? Come on.
No, I know what the Cupid Shuffle is. I've never heard anything on a baseball diamond referred to as the Cupid Shuffle.
No, it's like a dance. Like he's got a choreographed dance, like one step to the right. Is no one okay?
Does anyone know? Michael, do you know what he's talking about?
Don't bring me into this. Don't bring me into this.
First pitch misses low. I'm just going to change the subject.
We're just going to rotate that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate
just for you. Runner goes. Here's the pitch, and the throw down to second is not in time. Tag was applied, and it was a very close play as Lipsy will steal second. He slid in foot first. A good throw from Hernandez. A little bit high, but was in the area where Murillo could get the tag down pretty quickly, but it wasn't quite in time. So now runners at second and third. The infield will come in a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch, and Lane swings and misses.
I do have to note this is all happening with 1 out, too. Donay was the first guy up, and he struck out looking, and every single guy since has reached.
2-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Lane, and it's low and away for ball 3. At this point, walking him is probably in your best interest. It sets up a force at any base, sets up a double play.
Yeah, hitters count here for Lane, too.
Here's the pitch. It is inside for ball 4. So not the worst result if you're Wareham. And now they're loaded for Andrew Sundin, the 8th hitter of the inning for Hyannis. So they have brought 3 across here in the top of the 8th and lead 9-5.
And that's what we've seen with Hyannis in this game is like when everything is working for them, they flip a switch and everybody starts hitting and everyone starts getting on base. And you've seen it work miracles. It worked back in the 5th.
When it rains, it pours. Sundin swings and takes a huge swing through a fastball and misses everything for strike one.
Yeah, they sent it down the chain to Sundin back in the 5th, and they've sent it all the way back down the chain to him here. This is his second time up with the bases loaded. He came through back in the 5th. Let's see what he can do here.
Here's the pitch, and it's low and away for ball one. Nearly got away from Hernandez there. Interdonato trying to work his way out of this inning. He's given up 3 runs so far on that 3 RBI triple from Laurie. Here's the pitch. Check swing, low and away. Slider, no swing. So count leverage here for Sundin. 2-1 the count as he looks for another clutch, bases loaded hit here. 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch as he pops that one up on the right side. Over and to his left. It's in the Bermuda Triangle of players out there. Catching it is Michaels going out. Tagging from third and scoring is Laurie. So a very nice job by the Harbor Hawks to keep their head up on a shallow pop out. Michaels, the second baseman, ran a long way, probably about 100 feet towards the right field foul line to make the over-the-shoulder catch. He fired it back in, but his momentum was pulling him away from home plate, and a great job by Laurie to come home, and he slid in safely, and the lead for Hyannis is stretched to 5.
Yeah, and you say that his momentum was pulling him away. His back was also to home plate, and third base coach and manager was very, very alert to that, and that's what you have to do is listen to your coach on third base in those kinds of situations. It's an aggressive play, but it was the correct one with his back so far away from home plate. He had to turn all the way around and make that throw.
Now you find yourself in a really strong footing with assurance runs here now. 5 over, but once again, we saw it.
0-1 to Williamson after a first pitch strike. That one's off speed and low for a ball, 1-1.
And we saw with Falmouth and Wareham yesterday that Falmouth was able to get back into the game after Wareham had put everything at him in the first 4 innings. So beauty of the Cape, no one can be counted out at any given moment.
Third pitch to Williamson is taken low and away for ball 2. Williamson, the 9th hitter to come up in this inning. 4 runs in for the Hawks. 10-5 lead. 2 outs here. Runners at the corners. Here's the pitch, and that one's tapped foul down the first baseline.
Williamson here, 2 for 4 so far today. Got a double and a single to his name back in the 4th and 5th, respectively.
And on that sacrifice fly, it was easy to lose track of Alex Lane, but he just stayed at first. Here's the pitch, and that is just low for ball 3. I'm not going to lie. I almost completely forgot about Lane at first in all the excitement that happened with the bases loaded there, but he still leads off from first. 3-2 the count. He will be in motion here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and it hits Williamson, I believe. And he's a little bit shaken up. Not sure where it got him, but the bases will be loaded again. But right now, all the attention is going to be on Williamson as he seems to be favoring that right arm.
Here is, we'll have Beatty go over now to first base to have a conversation with the training staff as well. Able to nip it, it appears, on his right forearm is what they're looking at right now.
Yeah, in a 10-5 game, this is just kind of not what you want to see with any team. It's 10-5 game, especially when it's a blowout. You don't want to see guys getting hurt, but on a 3-2 count, he got hit, and that means that Brody Donay, who led off the inning by striking out looking, will come back up, and it looks like Williamson will stay in the game here, as even though he came up favoring that arm, he still continued to walk down to first. Seems like he wanted to stay in the game, so he will stay out there, be at first, and the bases are loaded for Brody Donay.
Tough man right there.
Here's the first pitch to him, and he's laid on a fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, you could tell what he was trying to do on that swing. He was trying to put 4 more runs on the board. He took a big hack at it, And even though you missed, it's not the worst pitch to be swinging at in this situation. Fastball right down the middle. Why not have a hack?
0-1 to Donay. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for strike 2. Donato going right at him. He gets his sign, bases loaded, 0-2 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch, and he fouls that one back.
Good 2-strike approach there, continuing to protect on the plate. Bases still loaded here. Want to cash in as many as possible here, especially with that run differential deciding sometimes between those ties.
I wish they did that in the big leagues. It makes each and every run that you score that much more important. I do like that that's what they do here.
Here's the 0-2, and it is taken low for a ball. Donay so far has struck out twice. He walked back in the 2nd, and he flew out in the 8th. Night has fallen here in Wareham as the lights are on, and the sky is nearly completely dark as that one's taken high and away for ball 2.
I'm going to give props to Michael here. He is running without a coat, and I don't know how he's doing it.
I'm not. I'm shivering, and I'm trying to subdue it. And I'm not going to be the guy to pretend to be all strong. No, it's freezing out here.
2-2 to Donay is knuckled foul down the first base line.
Josh, our producer, also got the going just golf shirt here as well.
He doesn't look like he's shivering, though.
He's not phased. He's got goosebumps. Okay, so he feels something. He is human, folks.
2-2 to Donay. Here's the delivery, and it is high, and it gets back to the screen and away from Hernandez, and that will score the 5th Harbor Hawks run of the inning as Lipsy will come in and score their 11th run of the game.
Yeah, like we talked about, only scoring 1 yesterday, able to come out and respond. That's what Coach Beatty talked about in that post-game press conference with the 4th member of our team, Bria, was give us a day, we'll figure it out, and we're going to get our bats going. And what better way to respond than 11 in the next day?
Donay has gone 0-2 to 3-2 here. And here's the pitch, and he swings and misses for strike 3. 10 hitters come up in the inning. 5 runs score on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base for the Harbor Hawks. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. It's 11-5 Harbor Hawks lead on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, soon at Gannon Tavern.
With Hood Milk, you can trust your family is getting high-quality milk in every nutritious and delicious drop. It begins here on farms that Hood selects, with farmers who uphold the highest standards and who pledge to never use artificial growth hormones. And you'll see that care continue right to your home with our Light Block bottle, which protects the fresh taste of your milk. At Hood, we never stop caring about our milk because you never stop caring about your family. Always good, always Hood.
It'll be Cook, DiGiorno, and Black due up for Wareham as they face a 6-run deficit here in the bottom half of the 8th, guys.
Are we going to cook some DiGiorno and burn it black?
Come on.
That is so good.
I thought we were going to get through this one without something.
It was so good. It was, come on.
I can't lie. Wow, that was really good.
Thank you.
That was really good.
I can't believe this.
That was...
Nico, our producer, is giving me the smile of like, pretty good. He doesn't want to hate me on it. Most people on this broadcast.
That was impressive.
Thank you.
That was all... I mean, now they have to finish 1, 2, 3.
I can't believe you've done this. 11-5 our score. First pitch is outside for ball 1 to Will Cook, the designated hitter. And Wareham facing a 6-run deficit. Here's the pitch, and that one's fouled back. Excuse me, this is Bobby Bozer, a pinch hitter for Wareham.
Aw, man.
I looked down, I didn't look up. That's my bad.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Bozer, the junior from University of South Florida. There's a couple of USF players playing in this game. Here's the 2-1, or the 1-2. It is just down and away. Missed it barely as Sundin was getting ready to fire that one around the horn, but count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, Snow over at second base, his fellow Bull.
The 2-2 delivery from Jamie Arnold, and that's strike 3 right there. Swung on and missed, and that's the first out of the inning. And the 4th strikeout in 4 hitters for Jamie Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold comes in a high-leverage situation in the 6th when you had traffic on the base paths, and ever since then, he has not allowed anyone on you.
So here's Drake DiGiorno, who reached on an error in his last at-bat. He watches a strike on that pop fly to the shallow right field. He singled back in the 4th, and he grounded into a double play in the 2nd. And he's made a couple of nice plays out in right field. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. A lot of ups and a lot of downs for DiGiorno tonight, but overall, the ups have been pretty high. 0-2 the count to him. Bottom of the 8th, 11-5 Harbor Hawks lead. Arnold gets his sign, kicks and deals, and it is off speed, called strike 3, and he's 5 for 5 on strikeouts right now.
Whatever we are feeding Arnold, get me some of it. This man has come in and continued to produce, and now that is 5 straight Ks. Going back to the 7th, he has come in and commanded the zone.
Dixon Black will stand in, and here's the pitch to him, and it is taken in there. First pitch, strike. And that's what he's been doing his entire outing, is getting ahead in counts, getting to the point where he can waste a couple of pitches, and putting hitters away. Here's the pitch. That is low for ball 1. Black, the third baseman. So far tonight has walked twice and hit a sacrifice fly. No official at-bat tonight as he looks at a strike. And the count is 1-2. He has 3 plate appearances tonight, guys.
Thanks, Mickey.
As we were talking about earlier. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses for strike 3, and that is 6 for 6 for Jamie Arnold. 1, 2, 3, go the Gatemen. We head to the 9th. Hyannis leads 11-5.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Back with you as the Harbor Hawks lead the Wareham Gatemen 11-5 right now here at Spillane Park. We're coming down to the final stretch of this one as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Harbor Hawks got 10 men to the plate last inning, and we'll have Snow, Smith, and Casella do up the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the ninth, guys.
Yeah, in the 8th inning, all 3 of them were able to reach first base safely. Snow and Casella with a single, Smith with a walk in there. Really strong outing from this bottom half of the lineup today when you start to look. And a little bit of a messy scorecard so far, but really encouraging day for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks bats.
So a defensive substitution for Wareham. It's Brennan coming in to catch here in the top of the ninth, as the first pitch is fouled straight back. Here's the pitch. Snow grounds that one to short. Up with it and to his left is Murillo. He fires across the infield in time for out number 1. Jimmy Brennan, the new catcher, comes in, the junior out of Post University. All CACC second team. And that'll bring up Cam Smith.
Post Eagles.
Wow, that is impressive.
That one's in Connecticut, so it really isn't that impressive.
Right.
But
you should not have exposed yourself like that. Like,
I think I've exposed myself today through today's broadcast. But
want to know the count? Here's the pitch, and it's high for ball 2.
Gotta have fun. You get to do baseball on Cape Cod for an entire summer. Gotta keep it loose. Gotta keep it fun. Really been treated to an amazing game so far.
Here's the pitch, and that one's fouled straight back. Count evens up at... Count moves to 2-1 here. Cam Smith, the third baseman, doubled in the third. Later came around to score as he flies that one high and in the yard to right. DiGiorno ranging in. He ranged out, then came back in, and he makes the one-handed grab for out number 2. He's been active out there. So here comes Justin Casella, the 9-hole hitter. Singled in his last at-bat as a part of that long top of the 8th inning. Struck out in the 6th. Popped out to first in the 3rd and grounded into a fielder's choice in the 5th, and then later came around to score in that inning. As he leads in the count, 1-0 here. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Here's the pitch, and it's high and in for ball 2. Hyannis leads by 6. Here's a question for you guys. Do you send Jamie Arnold back out to the mound for the bottom of the 9th? A swing and a miss.
I'm confident in saying yes. Go with him. He's dealing. Let's continue the outing.
I think so, too. It saves your back-end guys, as I was mentioning earlier. And, I mean, he's been shoving today as well. He's every single out aside from one has been a strikeout. So keep him in there with his high confidence.
2-1 to Casella's popped foul. You know, what if he is a top-end guy? What if you are realizing that he's coming out and emerging as a guy that you want in the 9th and the 8th inning, and you don't want to throw him and maybe save him for a later date?
Well, this is where you find that out when you bring him out for that 9th inning. This is where you find out. But this is a low-leverage situation, to be fair, but just that familiarity with getting those last 3 outs.
I agree on that entirely. I think this is his outing. He has earned it. He is able to stay out with it. I think there's no reason to pull him. Like you said, you're not forced in a tight, high-leverage situation. Might as well just let him go and see what he can get.
Yeah.
The 2-2 to Casella was down and away. He took it for ball 3, and on the 3-2, he checks his swing as that pitch ran outside for ball 4. So he draws a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup in Brad Keylori.
The bottom of the order has done a really, really good job of extending these innings and getting it back to the top. And the top has done their job once the card has been turned back over.
Just looking at this scorecard right now as Laurie takes just outside for ball 1. It's a lot of walks. It's a lot of doubles, singles. This bottom of the order has done its job today.
And you see those big hits and those extra base hits with all those runners on.
Pop up by Laurie on the 1-0. Into foul territory goes the first baseman, Sullivan, and he puts that one away for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the ninth. The Harbor Hawks looking to put away the Gatemen, 3 outs away from their first win of this young summer. You are listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
New pitcher in for the Harbor Hawks looking to close out the Gatemen is Matthew Maloney, the junior out of Huntington Beach, California, and the New Mexico State Aggie, currently in the transfer portal right now, but currently with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks looking to close out the Gatemen for their first win of the year.
Yeah, this is a guy that comes in like we talked about. You want to have a high leverage situation, and it appears Skip Eric Beatty had someone in mind for this situation to really close this one out and get it down.
And that'll close the line on Jamie Arnold, who was terrific. Lights out, dominant. Insert adjective here. He went 2 1/3 innings. He did not give up a hit. He did not give up a base runner, did not give up a walk, and struck out 6 of the 7 hitters he faced. So Jamie Arnold is a Harbor Hawk to watch out for going forward for the rest of the year. 11-5 their lead right now. It was 5 runs in the 8th for Hyannis, 4 in the 5th, and 2 in the 3rd to get to this point, as they will look to close out Wareham right now. And dominance offensively for the Harbor Hawks is, it kind of went like this.
Yeah.
It was up and down, and it was in and out and kind of all over the place. One inning they'd go down 1, 2, 3, and the next they'd get 10 hitters to the plate.
Yeah, you talk about it. That is what Hyannis was able to do today, was manufacture and then work together. They were an assembly line through and through.
So here's Jimmy Brennan, the replacement catcher. He was a defensive replacement in that last inning for Yadi Hernandez as he takes a first pitch strike. But yeah, manufacturing and then showing off a little bit of power from time to time, getting those into the gap. There was a couple of doubles that were deep doubles that went off the fences. Brennan takes outside for ball 1. And those, as the season goes on, will become more and more homers, because obviously with metal bats, that sweet spot is a lot bigger. The 1-1 is taken low for a ball. The metal bats, that sweet spot is a lot bigger. Wood bats, obviously, it's smaller. It's harder to barrel up a ball with a wooden bat, and we see that struggle, typically early in the Cape Cod League season, but Hyannis looks like they've done a good job of that so far today. 2-1, here's the pitch, low and in.
And that's really why you go play in summer, is you have that dream of playing at the next level, which is solely uses wood bats. So you come to summer to be able to get some reps using that wood bat, take some at-bats, and really develop as a player and a professional prospect.
Brennan behind in the count, 3-1. Here's the pitch, and it's a line drive out to left field. Hit pretty well, but it is right at Williamson out there for out number 1. And that will bring up Kevin Michaels, the second baseman. That one was hit pretty hard, but Williamson really didn't have to move for that one. If it was hit pretty much anywhere else, to his left or his right, any further to his left or his right, he's going to have a hard time getting out there. First pitch from Maloney on its way, and it is in there for strike 1. Maloney has a little bit more of a compact windup. He stays lower to the ground. He hides that ball for a long time. Drives off that back foot off the rubber. Here's the pitch. It is just low.
Yeah, just low there. Below the knees. Good strike zone from Kevin Michaels, who squats down a little bit to try and scrunch up a little bit.
The off-speed pitch is a little bit of a knuckler to the right side, and ranging over is Alex Lane, and he reaches out to snag that one out of the air for out number 2, and the Harbor Hawks are 1 out away.
Yeah, 1 out away. Great job by Lane off to his glove side on the left side, ranging out for it, and that's that lengthy Lane here, standing at 6'5", is able to reach out and get that little extra oomph.
Last hope for the Gatemen is David Glancy. First pitch to him, a righty-on-righty matchup here, is taken high for a ball. Glancy so far today is 1 for 4. Double back in the 5th, later came around to score. Did not reach outside of that. 1-0 is in there, strike 1 with the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, big spot there. If you can really lock down here.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. 2-1 now. A couple of Harbor Hawks have 4 RBI on the night. Andrew Sundin, of course, had that 3 RBI double back in the 5th. He also had a sacrifice fly in the 8th. 2-1 is lined down the right field line and foul. And Brad Keylori, he also had a bases clearing hit, but that one was a triple in the 8th, a part of that 8th inning where Harbor Hawks brought 10 batters to the plate. He also had an RBI single in the 3rd. So between only 2 hitters, they have they've driven in 8 of the 11 Harbor Hawks runs. The 2-2 is swung on and missed, and that is going to put a bow on this one. Hyannis dominates in Wareham, 11-5 the final, and guys, offense was the story tonight after pitching was the story last night.
Offense, offense, offense tonight. Every single Harbor Hawks hitter showed a really, really good approach at the plate tonight, regardless of outcome. They were putting together good, confident at-bats, and they especially, we can talk about the guys that at the top of the order in Laurie and Sundin driving in all those runs, but it wouldn't have been possible without the bottom of the lineup getting on base for them. So an overall complete team effort from the Hawks here tonight in Wareham.
Yeah, you're right. Complete team effort. I can't emphasize that enough. And they did a great job of working as an assembly line. They worked together. They played as a team like we talked about. You've only been playing with these guys for a couple of days, but they really came together cohesively, and they manufactured stuff when it didn't look like there was anything there. Big timely hitting from Sundin plays a huge factor when you talk about that. That's going to be your hit of the game. If you want to circle anything, it's that Sundin double that really broke this one open and allowed the Hyannis Harbor Hawks to really make a move forward.
And not only was the offense very good tonight, the pitching, especially at the back end of the bullpen towards the end of the game, they retired the last 10 Gatemen that came to the plate. They shouldn't go unnoticed in this one.
They really shouldn't. But overall, great outing. But Hyannis, beauty of Summer League, you got to keep going. You play Chatham tomorrow at 6 back at McKeon.
So that'll do it for us here from Spillane Park. For our producers, Nico Sharp, Grant McNew, and Josh Schreiber. That's Jacob Irons. That's Michael Kersing. I'm Mickey Doolittle saying so long. Once again, the Harbor Hawks win 11-5 here tonight on an offensive outburst. We'll be back tomorrow for our game from McKeon Park. Thank you so much for listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.